And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the after party. I know we all had somebody has feedback. Somebody's got feedback. You all suck. You all suck. Somebody's got something in the background. I don't know what it is. All right. Anyways, welcome back. We all had fun over on Fatty's panel. I felt like a little low energy, so hopefully we can spice this shit up tonight for open panel, grab bag topic, and of course, topics are welcome. I believe Kraut already has a topic for us. We'll hold on to that for just a minute, but I want to get the go around. If anybody did watch the Fatty show, any general thoughts you had about it? Spin go.
Oh my God. I had to take periodic breaks between the laughter and the conspiracy and asking permission from your girlfriend and your wife like a week in advance. Really? That was crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of like things that it's like we didn't apply common sense here.
Wish there was some common sense. And Yum Yum Cakes can take it from there.
Ben, are you still with us? He might have just gotten up to walk away. We'll skip on over for the win. Did you watch the Team Fatty panel?
I missed it. I'm sorry. I was
unacceptable.
errands.
You're not a true mater.
Wow. Shots fired. Shots fired already tonight, Sarah.
How dare you miss an episode? No, it's good.
Dare I?
It's
that was
good.
A 50 cal shot, sir. That was a 50 cal shot.
Kraut, did you watch the panel from earlier?
I did. I'm in Spin's book, man. That shit was hard to watch. They didn't understand the actual topic. Motherfuckers got what do you call it, Spin? TikTok brain?
Yes, they got TikTok brain.
Yeah. And that was my fault, man. I was by my TV when I didn't realize I was already in the show, so I think the feedback was my fault.
Oh, that's okay. I just like yelling at people. It's fun.
But are you asking for our opinions on that real quick, or are we just going around?
Yeah, you could give a general thought about the panel or your opinions on the topic. That's fine.
What? Oh yeah. I mean, I tell my wife all the time, hey, listen, if you want to wake me up with a little something special, you'll never fucking hear me complain.
Right?
And like guys that, it's fucking stupid. And yeah, like people were going off topic like a stranger and all this other shit, but it needs to be realized that we're actually talking about a relationship, not a one night stand that you wind up spending the night over their house and then they want to wake you up for a little what does Betty White call it from the Golden Girls, Snooki or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, we're actually talking about relationships. It's implied. Now, if someone wakes the other person up and they're like, oh, really not feeling it right now, I kind of got a headache, and you continue to pump out or grind, and then it can be considered something else. But it's implied, to wake your partner up with a little something special, especially on their birthday and Christmas.
Right.
But
exactly.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's why the first question I asked was they asked me for my initial thoughts on the topic when they opened, and I said, show me a guy that would say no to that. Like, show me a guy that would complain if a girl wakes him up with a blowjob. Like, why are we upset at this? Are you waving, Alderson? Please don't tell me you were waving at that, at what I was saying, like raising.
No, I was waving at the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got fans. Yeah. I'll add one more thing to that, Sarah. I truly feel like the men who say they got a problem with that, they're trying to earn brownie points to seem more sympathetic to the feminist cause, or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, it's not even that. It's I think it's just that's why I said, like, bro, you're gay. I just think I think it's not realistic. Like he was saying, he would, if he had a woman in his bed and she wasn't his girlfriend, or he didn't trust her to go, start going down on him or something. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You're trusting a woman to be in your bed. Like you trust her enough to have her in your bed, but you don't trust her enough to put her mouth on you. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the bed is the last place you're going to be if I don't trust you.
For real.
Right. So, all right. Ant, what'd you think?
I only really kind of tuned in for the even though I was there for the whole thing, I was only really tuned in for the whole consent topic. So, no, I feel like they sterilized it way too much. They're like taking it just too far out of a context it would actually occur in, right? Most decisions are made ahead of time. It's like if you're not comfortable with blowjobs in the morning, you probably already told your woman that like sometime earlier in the relationship, and she knows better.
Right.
And she was sorry. I'm almost done.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
No blowies in the morning. I missed something special.
Listen,
God dang it.
Listen, I'm not. I don't judge. Some people may not be into that thing. They don't like it. I don't know. But that's going to be like what you negotiate with.
They call those people communists.
But sure, but it's going to be like the level of relationship that you've negotiated with your partner. I don't really think it's implied consent so much as it's prearranged consent.
Well, and I think that prearrangement can come just by simply reading body language and things that your partner says and does, right? Like I know if my partner would or would not enjoy it if I grabbed his balls randomly in the kitchen, right? Like
as long as you respect the rule that consent can always be revoked, it's never going to be a problem.
Yeah. And that's why I made that pretty clear. Like what we were discussing, I said, like, is initiating something is one thing, right? And especially if it's with your girlfriend or boyfriend or somebody you're exclusively in a relationship with, it's not that hard, right? Like initiation's fine. But if either person says, no, not right now, you stop. You just stop. And I don't know why that's so hard to understand or comprehend. I think either party can initiate because it's a desire. You want them, right? You have emotions and body fluids going that you want to express to them. I don't think it's really all that difficult to be just like kissing your partner, your spouse, your whoever, right? Like if you go to kiss them, right, and they receive your kiss, then it's accepted. But if they turn their face, okay, rejected, right? It's not that fucking hard to read body language. So anyways, but yeah, good thoughts, Ant. Any more on it? Ant?
He's taking the shit.
So, no, I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, that's what she said.
Was acting up.
She said, I'm done. It's your turn now. You can finish now. And it's Clay's turn to finish.
When does that ever happen?
Right. Go ahead, Clay.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was hilarious. What's the gay guy's name again?
Sharon.
Sharon. So yeah, it was interesting to get that perspective. Yeah, it's something that I've certainly seen multiple times. And yeah, I wonder if he's ever gotten any nookie ever. But the idea that any guy's going to have any trouble with this is weird to me. And then trying to think of the right way to say this. Well, let me point out first that I want to point out Fatty's point that he kept saying. What he kept drawing attention to was that the ladies ought to be careful with what they say. I think that was the main reason why Fatty brought up his topics, and I think that tends to be a lot of reasoning behind his topics is that the Me Too movement, that sort of thing, and that's why he brings up these dating relationship type topics because currently in our culture there's a lot of Me Too going on. So it is worth noting what he was saying about that. But yeah, this is the thing. So they were all over the place with basically non sequiturs. I mean, you pointed it out. It's like you guys keep bringing in these things that is not even close to the topic. We're talking about consent, implied consent, non-consent on this particular thing, and whether this is something you would be okay with. The implied consent part, I think that does come way before. Obviously, you can sit there and do arbitration. I'm sure a couple of those guys on the panel want to sit there and do contracts and all of that. And you know what? There is a contract. It's called marriage. That is an option, right? So there's that. But a lot of times when you're in that dating scene, you know, the chemistry, the mood, you know, I was putting this in the chat a lot, is like the feeling that you're getting, all of that works together. You know, sometimes it's one-liners you're dropping, you know, sometimes it's, you know, it's all about the game, right? The game, right? And if it's not a game, then it's not worth playing. If you're not willing to step onto the field, it's not worth playing the game. And I think that guys like the gay guy was, you know, he's missing the point of the dating and all of that. You know, if it was, you know, the 1500s or, you know, 1000 BC, there'd be a lot of arranged marriages. You wouldn't have much choice. We do live in a liberal nation. You do get to choose who you're with. What that means is that you're going to find out that a lot of people are freaks. and with the guys, you know, like the reality of things, and ladies too, you know, everybody loves this shit. Like it's sex, you know, it's what it is. It's chemistry. It's all that stuff. And if you got to sit there,
ecstasy.
yeah, I'll wrap it up. Yeah, exactly. I'll wrap it up. It's if you got to sit there and write out a contract, you're literally breaking the mood. It's just not even worth it at that point.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I would be okay with, at the very most, a man asking me, like if it's like our first, second, third day, whatever, and he asks to kiss me, right? You're asking if it's, I want to get physical with you. Can I kiss you? Right? I'm okay with that at the very most, but anything beyond that, once you implement physical touch into your relationship, to me, anything further is implied consent unless revoked in the moment. Right. And again, I understand initiation, because there has to be some type of initiation. I don't want you to ask me every time if you can hold my hand or I mean, if that's the case, then anytime you held my hand, can I hold your hand? You sound like a bitch. Right. Like it's weird. Right. Like the first time you touch me, okay, I can understand that. But anything beyond that, I think is normal, understood, implied, like we are doing this and we're physical, and that's it. Yeah.
I will point out too that if it's about the Me Too or if it's about simping and that sort of thing, then how are you going to prove that you asked if you don't have it recorded? So if your mindset is really like that, right?
Mhm.
Either, you know, like I said, the contract or audio or video recording, that sort of thing's going to have to take place. And, you know, how many people want to have to deal with that shit? You know, it's just unrealistic in the moment when you're, you know, it's all the mood and all that. It's just, it's a dumb idea to have to, you know, work out the logistics before you do the dirty nasty.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And if this is the behavior we've been operating on, right, then anything going forward is assumed. Again, unless directly revoked, then understood. But yeah. Fair enough. All right, Kraut, you got a topic for us, sir?
Yeah, I do. And you know I'm good for stirring up the crowd. But I feel like we're all like in the middle or leaning to the right. So I'm not sure if this will actually be a good one. But
Oh, yeah.
what are your opinions on the police in today's society? Do y'all think they should be disbanded, completely overhauled, or they're good for society?
Oh no, you found some heat. I
Mhm.
promise you that
Okay,
there's
all
going
right.
to be some wildly
Mhm.
different opinions here, and
Mhm.
I can already tell you which teams are the Road Warriors.
Mhm. I'll kick it off. I was married to a cop. I respect our police force very much. I see what they have to do behind the scenes a lot, and the shit they have to deal with, and it's not easy. I will also say my husband absolutely did not wake up every morning and say, who can I fuck with today? Like, how can I be racist today? Who can I kill today? Or anything like that. He woke up every morning just kind of hoping, like, dear God, just let it be an easy one. And he was, you know, down in the city, lots of ghetto, especially his district was like very ghetto. And it's not easy for any of them. I think there is a thought process that all cops start off wanting to do good for their communities, but until they find out, especially if they get put in the inner cities and such, that those communities don't want their help. And it's like pulling teeth to try to help them help themselves. Especially when there's like gang activities and such in a community, and then the community suddenly goes blind and doesn't hear anything and can't talk, right? It's like, but then they complain like, well, why aren't you doing something about these guns and these drugs and this and that's like, well, we can't if you don't help us, right? So I think that there's they face lots of dilemmas, very hard balancing acts to try to do their best to keep the city or community as safe as they possibly can. But at the same time, they also get their hands tied behind their backs on so many other occasions, because it's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. Now, I will say county police or suburban neighborhoods, probably a different story. I think they have it a lot easier, right, than the direction of the city cops. And I think the county is probably more dangerous because they can power trip and they're not facing constant issues all day long, and so on and so forth. I think they have it much easier, and they do hone in on tiny or stupid, just like retarded issues, right? I think that can be potentially a problem, but again, I don't think every cop is bad. I think there are bad apples, maybe some reformation built into there. But I think it was funny that when the body cams came out, it actually ended up showing how much worse the community was, not the cops. I think it backfired on the people that made those demands and actually worked against them, and actually helped the cops be able to show, like, this is what we deal with on a daily basis. Even just giving out fucking speeding tickets. Just give your name, give the license, get the speeding ticket, and move the fuck on. Why are you fighting it? Go fight it in court where that belongs. So I'll leave it at that, and let's go to For the Win.
Yeah, they certainly do have a tough job, and at the end of the day, you still need to have the rule of law present. It's just a matter of having the people there to enforce said laws ultimately, and when they need to do it. And and I'm sure there's a lot of great cops out there, and when we talk about the bad ones, I'm sure that's in the very, very, very slim minority of them, of course, and that's true in any kind of profession and such like that. But when it comes to our policing, we simply just have like this gold standard all across the board illusion in our mind that they have, and it's just simply just not the case. You're always going to have a couple bad apples in the bunch with them and such like that. But at the same time, you go state by state by state. We are all like 50 different countries with 50 different sets of laws and everything. And that when we see these things pop up online, well, it may be this way in this state, but in this state, they don't give a shit. So it's always sometimes a hard thing to police when you're looking at it, like when the body cam footage and stuff comes out like that and stuff. So it's an interesting thing. So I'll leave it at that.
Perfect. Thank you. And Kraut, did you want to offer your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'll offer my thoughts real quick. Basically everything. I have my own thoughts, but I agree with everything you say, Sarah, except one thing. Well, state troopers are like the chillest cops out there. I know you said county troopers, they're a little less busy, so they might be more on a power trip to get that adrenaline flowing. But if your answer revolves around them not being that busy, I would have to disagree with you respectfully on that point, because I've had my interactions with state troopers and city cops. City cops are fucking dickheads. Of course, I can be a dickhead as well when I was growing up. To that point, my main gripe with people complaining about cops is they claim they're racist. Now, you have cops that are racist, obviously. You got politicians that are racist, but it doesn't mean the cops are racist. They hire black people. It's like when Effigy tried to claim that immigration ICE is racist, but they're deporting white people. It just doesn't make sense. And the final thing is, I don't believe cops are racist, but they do have a mob mentality. What I mean by that is a lot of them known each other for years. They barbecue on the weekends. I'm not saying this right, but they see one of their coworkers acting a fool, and that's their friend. That could be their fucking family, in-laws, whatever the case. So they're gonna have their back. They need to cut that shit out because they need to be held to a higher standard. I criticize the police on that point, but as far as them being racist, There's no evidence to just suggest that whatsoever. But that's all I got.
All right. Ant, to you, sir.
If we're to be a nation of laws, then it logically entails that we need those laws enforced. Enforcement isn't going to do itself. You need people. That's what we have police forces for. So, of course, I'm going to support the police. That doesn't mean turning a blind eye to their excesses or corruption. Definitely, we need to keep an eye on that and curb it where we can. But overall, I think the police are a positive force.
Okay. Clay.
Yay. Definitely my topic for sure. Yeah, I'm for rule of law. 100%. I want rule of law. So, unfortunately, what that means is that, yes, you have to have police. Now, to determine on what is good policing, yes, it matters on what policies and regulations they are under, whether they're well trained, and but most importantly, the attitudes of officers. And you can have all the training, you can have all the policies you want in that police force, but it doesn't mean a damn thing if those officers are not decent folk. You know, like the idea of honoring the oath, the constitutional rights. Our constitutional rights are there because, in my opinion, the people in this country. And so what that means is that the government needs to be heavily regulated so that they don't violate our rights. Now, the cameras, it's 2026. I believe that that's the smartest thing that we have done as a nation is to regulate those officers to wear body cams. And like Sarah said, it's shown that quite a bit of the community has been lying about these officers, but it also shows that there's a lot of officers who are lying about what they're doing on these stops. So, tit for tat. And I think transparency is the only way for us to move forward with a decent police force. But what that also means is that checks and balances, we the people have to watch our government. We have to. This is not an option. It was not an option in the past, and it's definitely not an option now. The beauty of what we have now is that we have our cameras on our cell phones, and then we can actually live stream it to the entire country, and things get seen immediately. So what I advocate is for people to film the cops. A lot of people know that I'm a big fan of Delete Laws. Chili's a friend of mine, and he is actually the person who I learned a lot of things from. And then, once I learned a lot of the basics, started learning the law and the laws in my particular area, the city I live in. And if you learn the law and you can articulate it well and you can have a decent conversation with some of these cops, they won't violate your rights for the most part. Sometimes they will still, but let's be clear. You cannot police the police without doing it yourself. You have to. It's not an option. If you see something, say something, kind of thing. But you're doing it with the camera.
That's
my
fair.
views.
All right, P. Fletch.
Here we go. Took me a second to.
Either get closer to your mic or turn it up.
All right. Mic check. Mic check. Is that okay?
1, 2, 2.
Are you close to your mic?
It's built in.
Oh, there it is.
I'm a poor.
Okay. All right. That should be fine then. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just kind of got in the middle of this. I don't know much about the topic other than,
Dude,
Would you like me to reinstate what I said, Sarah? Since I brought
that
up?
would be
I mean,
helpful.
it's your show.
Thank you, no, go ahead. That would
Yeah.
be very helpful.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
I didn't want to step on your toes.
No, you're good.
My question was, at my standpoint, I'm for the police. They just we need to do better with training them. But the question is, should police be demolished, entirely retrained and overhauled, or just leave it where it's at? And there's subsections like our police racist or Ponte racist. There's other subsections, but that's just that's the jumping off.
Well, I think the main thing is we need to focus on merit-based hiring instead of just trying to check a box. That's where the problem is with a lot of the policing, the top down.
Yeah, Sarah also.
Yeah, go ahead, Kraut.
No, I was going to say you actually you brought up a good point. I believe you stated that some cops in the city, especially if they've been there for years, uh, they just get so stressed out over the job after a while. Like you said, when they started, they have all intentions of being good, but then they get overwhelmed by the fucking city shit. I believe that's what you said. Correct me if I'm wrong.
More like I think every cop joins the force because they want to do good things, right? They want to be a hero. They want to save people. They want to be a positive member in their society and help, be the hero that they need to be. And I think eventually they realized that it was just a humdrum dream. And there is no being a hero for a community that doesn't want a hero, right? And that happens when, like, the communities that, especially with gang activity surrounding drug activity, but then when the cops reach out to the people of the community, they say, "Help us, tell us who Pookie is, or tell us this, or tell us who shot that gun. Did you see something?" "No, I didn't see or hear anything," and then they go blind and deaf all at the same time. And suddenly, like, now the cops can't do anything.
Stitches.
Snitches get
Have,
stitches.
Have you guys ever heard of this YouTube thing? It's called Audit to Audit. Does anybody know that?
Clay probably would, but
Yeah,
let's stay the course here. P. Fletch, was that all of your thoughts on that? If not, we'll move to the next person.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I believe next in line was K.O. Dave.
Hi. Yeah, I think when it comes to the police, obviously their job can be dangerous. I don't think I ever really bought wholesale into the whole ACAB thing. It seemed a little bit too much of a broad strokes kind of message that, like, it would just, I understood where people were coming from, especially during that time, but I don't know. I think that in Canada, at least, we seem to have fairly decent relationships with our police officers here. I haven't really had many interactions with police myself, so I can't speak fully to it. But
No hot transformer transactions?
no. From what I've seen in the States, it looks like the police down there are probably too heavily militarized, and they could use some pretty good training in de-escalation, because it doesn't seem to happen often enough. And they I don't know, they're in these very stressful situations, and they don't seem to be doing a very good job of navigating those situations, if that makes sense. And I don't know, it just seems to me like there needs to be, better training, basically. And one of the biggest issues, I think the two biggest issues I have with US cops is, first off, the qualified immunity thing, which is probably needs to go. It's kind of crazy that that's even a thing. And the second thing is that when a police officer messes up badly, like bad enough that they've probably like shown that they shouldn't be a police officer, all the other officers of their precincts seem to instead of like saying like, hey, this guy is a bad apple, let's not have him spoil the bunch, they all just seem to coalesce around the bad apple instead, and like protect them from especially the police unions seem to do this. And it's just like I'm not saying like when a police officer does something bad you kick them to the curb, but like there's got to be some accountability here, because like there's some some fucked up shit happens, and sometimes there's just not accountability when there really should be.
All right. For the win, did you go yet?
I did. I just got bounced all around here with everyone
Okay,
coming
just-
in, so I think
sure.
Effigy would be
Effigy.
next, I believe.
Thank you. That's what I thought. Go ahead, Effigy. Hopefully, you got something to fight with.
Heard my name, so I was summoned. So I appeared, as is said. Yeah, we need to overhaul policing badly. I think we've needed to overhaul it for a while. I think that's been a continuing project going all the way back into our history when police were allowed to do much, much worse things, depending on who it was done to. I think actually probably me and Clay would agree on a lot of stuff, especially about pretextual stops and stuff like that. All of that needs to be relooked at. I would push back on anyone who on the whole racist cop thing. Like, yeah, there are absolutely racist cops as interpersonally racist people. When people say racist police, though, we're talking about institutional racism. We're talking about mechanisms that are put into place that through no fault of the people's own allow targeting in certain ways of certain groups. And this can be from like I said, the pretextual stops, oversaturation of policing in certain areas, predictive policing algorithms. All of these things use data to determine the criminality of groups. And the criminality of groups is pretty much equal across the board. So when policing focuses in on a group, it can skew that data. If everyone did crimes equally, but I only said, hey, go police this one group, then you can't use that idea that, hey, look, all of the police encounters are that one group to say that they have higher criminality. And we constantly hear that argument. And it's only because of the kind of policing we have. In my eyes, sheriff's departments are the worst. I think sheriff's departments, even though sheriff's departments are probably have the best constitutional footing, they are, at least personally, anecdotally, from the things that I've heard from everyone who deals with this thing, they are the worst offenders. I don't know how to rein that in, but that's where I would start. I think this all kicked into overdrive after 9/11. I think we've never come to grips with how much we militarized our police after 9/11. A lot of us were trying to bring attention to it at the time. Why does rando police department with 10 members need a flipping tank? Basically, what are they going to do with that? So I think where we are and the attitudes that have kind of infested our police, which are military attitudes, especially the kicking out of de-escalation, the using force to control situations, that's all military shit. I think all of that needs to go. And we need to get back to some more common sense shit, like a lot of people have already said.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Effigy. Mr. Spin, to you, sir.
Oh God. Rumbling off up there, and I've been having this little war, but it's fine. It'll be okay. To the topic, I believe police are there to do a job. I believe that their job is hindered in multiple ways. In multiple ways. I can't look at the screen right now. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Why?
Oh, just pay no attention. Pay no attention to the bald one in the corner up there.
You guys are ridiculous.
It is kind of funny, not gonna lie.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Anyway,
Whose curtain is he behind?
that's okay. Rub one off.
Is it getting gay?
You want old rub and tug over there behind the curtain anyway.
It's a little gay. It's a little gay. Yeah, it is.
Would you like some baby oil to go with all that gayness?
We need the trippy horn. We need the trippy horn. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Someone would stop doing shit stupid. And that's okay. I'll get him back. God. Anyway, moving on. But I do believe that police forces do need to be overhauled. I think that the good buddy system and the lies that they do spew at times to back their partners up or whatever, that needs to go. Which obviously that's a wish and a prayer. I think that at the end of the day, there should be stiffer penalties for interference with law enforcement. And I'm not saying to the degree of pretty good, but I think there needs to be a lot more penalties. There shouldn't be, a slap on the wrist. Society leads by example. Well, and that's what there needs to be, major examples of what happens when you do. And I think that police would get their, I don't know the right word, I don't want to say credibility, but they would gain a lot more respect if such of that is done. I mean, we see it, Sarah, in Newark, New Jersey. We see it in all the different places, and it's everywhere. I'm not just singling out Newark, New Jersey. But I'll move on, Sarah.
All right. And finally to you, Mr. Balderson.
Baby back bitch.
Or rub and tug.
Y'all, hold on. You know what? We're just going to allow this for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Spin.
Hi, Ben.
Spinster.
Hi, Ben.
What's up, Spin?
Listen, I got your old fucking rub and tug, okay? I don't play with alpaca.
How much is that going to cost me?
I do not play with
that. Is that free? I mean, are we using P Diddy baby oil? What are you doing? I mean,
well, I'm using grease from last night's dinner.
Grease from last. Did you have bacon at least?
Yes, I did. It's pork.
Nice
pork
bacon
flavor.
grease.
Yeah.
That's not halal then.
Well, I mean, whatever you want to call it. So are
y'all are gay as fuck.
How can this be serious right now? So let me tell everybody how this war got started. One night on Sarah's panel.
One night they both went.
Yes, we did.
It was at band camp.
Yeah,
Sarah was there.
No, it was in the backyard.
Wait, who did what with the flute then?
Yeah, after seeing what Sarah did with the flute, we both went gay.
After what? Damn.
You want them splinters. It's all bad.
You know, after I watched Shaman Omar play the flute, I kind of got offended. He was playing the flute.
Did he have beans beforehand?
Rice.
Yeah, rice never gives me gas.
It sure bloated his big ass up. All right, Sarah. Jesus.
You
wait a minute.
are a couple of Fruit Loops. Holy shit. All right. All right. Back to seriousness, Ben. Wait, Ben.
It's my
Ben's
turn. It's my
Go
turn.
ahead, Ben.
Be back, bitch.
I'm not an anarchist. We have laws. Somebody's gotta take care of that. With that said, 100% there's a few major changes that would really shape up this system. There needs to be 24 hour or the entire time they're on duty, they have to have their body cam on. They don't get to choose when to turn it on and off and accidentally knock it off when some nasty shit's happening or they're saying some shit that doesn't want to be heard. That's definitely the stuff we want to hear said. That stuff that you turned your camera off and said, we definitely want to hear what that was. That
no way I'm this lucky and came in on some cop shit. No way I'm this lucky.
You are this lucky, Joe.
Hang tight, Joe. We're all doing initial thoughts first. You're next.
And a party. Fucking number 2, qualified immunity needs to be wiped out across the fucking board. When these people, these bad actors, which I will agree, there are decent cops out there. There's not that many, I don't think. I think it's about a 50-50. But the 50 that are there, here's a funny fact. Sarah mentioned how civilians won't snitch each other out. Weirdly, all the cops know who the bad cops are, but they don't do anything about it, even though they're empowered people who are supposed to be taking care of bad actors. So I got to give that extra 50 cent a little taint. That side's been tainted. It's got some shitty on it.
This is how gay you are. You're talking about taints now.
Yeah. Well, taint's on a girl. It's a grundle on a guy. See, it doesn't have that cute name. And then number 3, and they just implemented one here in the county I live in. I think every police station needs a civilian oversight board. There should be no, we investigated ourselves. That statement should never happen again, ever. And if you fix those 3 things, you're still going to occasionally get the bad actor, but it's going to clean up most of it, especially being able to hold those officers personally accountable. And my last point is Sarah was with a nice one, but just the fact of the shockingly high number of cops that beat their wives or girlfriends, we can guess who's also beating out people out in the streets. It's not a hard thing to figure out.
That's fair. All right, Joe, I'll have Kraut repeat the question for you. He brought the question to the board, and then you can answer your thoughts. Go ahead, Kraut.
All right, cool. After that, I just want to ask Boulder and Clay. After Joe goes, I get that. But yeah, my question was, do you believe cops are good where they're at, like institutional wise? Do you believe they should be completely overhauled, or do you believe they should just be dismantled and have no cops essentially?
Oh well, certainly not the certainly not the last one. We shouldn't be dismantling. They'll be necessary in some form or fashion. I don't remember the first one. Complete overhaul is what I think. And I don't.
Retraining.
No. Yeah. The retraining, what they're going to do, they're going to $100 million and teach them to ID everybody who they come across. Everybody's the enemy. That's what more training is to police. So probably some of the things do to scrap civilian boards, making them pay for their mistakes. I don't think training would do it. We spent endless money on training. You should see the videos of the people they hired to train them.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. And I'm going to read 2 super chats, and I do have a couple thoughts I want to throw in as some little wrenches in your well-oiled machines. Fourth Wiseman with the Big 10 says Vegas non-loitering fund. Otherwise, without this, you'll end up with wandering aimlessly, also known as vagrancy. No, we've got a whole itinerary built out that it's coming out pretty well. Gibbs is working really hard on his end to ensure that we have lots of different places to do content in, on, around, about, so on and so forth. He's also bringing some gear out, so we might be able to, pretty sure we can set up and do some streams off of his gear. And then compliments of Tom Carpenter, I will be doing video recording on my end, so I will have some prepped videos that I'll work on when I get back. But
Where
yes,
you going? Sorry, I missed it.
They,
Where
you
you
didn't
going?
miss. You missed our big
Oh God,
announcement
no way.
Friday.
I'm
Would
stunning.
anyone like to cue our darling Uncle Joe in on what's going on?
Donate to Sarah, and Tom Carpenter is matching up to 100 tonight.
He did earlier. He already did that earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
And Sarah has been growing. She's a big kid now, not in height though. And and she has been communicating with a guy that's got 12 million followers on Instagram and a million subs on YouTube. And she has been invited to moderate a debate. He's trying to complete a debate format, and she's going to come out and present it.
Very
In Vegas.
Very good. You
So we are crowdfunding, Joe. We are crowdfunding this trip because I'm a broke bitch right now, and
Yes.
I'm not making quite as much as I was making 6 months ago. So this puts my budget a little tight. So we are crowdfunding it. Tom Carpenter did a lot of great, good Friday, and today he was matching donos on the he was matching super chats that people were putting in with hashtag Vegas. It's not operating right now, so if you do it, like, he has not presented a match. He already did that one earlier, but every time somebody sends a super chat with a certain phrase in it, he matches on Cash App so that I get the cash now to cover me, because in YouTube, as you're very well of, Joe, you don't get the money till the following month, and even not just next month like the first, like not till late next month. So in order to help me get through, we're crowdfunding it via we're crowdfunding on Cash App and Buy Me a Coffee to help get us through. So yes, it's working out really well. We're really excited. We've got Gibbs going out. I believe Counterpoint's supposed to be going out. Dragon Fist, our good Andrew, is going out. And there's a few more on the list, but it's a 1v10 against Gary, the numbers guy. I don't know if you remember him from, like, I think he's debated. He hasn't been on my show before, but he's debated in, like, around our space before.
He debated Andrew, and it was very contentious and got very angry.
And they started making, like, wife jokes after that. But
the gematria guy?
Yeah,
that's Zachary Hubbard. Zachary Hubbard.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Gary the numbers guy is a numbers person, but he's not gematria.
The gematria is a system where you turn letters into numbers, and then also they use the number systems, because then that gives their letter number things meaning. But then there's also a whole nother group that only looks at repetitive numbers and things.
Gotcha.
Yep. And Fourth Wiseman also says, stop being pansies. Do this, i.e. cop behavior badly tells me I'm under arrest for nothing. Tries to fight me, so I throw him over the fence in a pile of cow dung. Very applicable. I don't know how well that would turn out later, but hey, if you think you get away with it, go ahead. All right, I want to throw a wrench at all of your well-oiled machines. Do you expect cops who are obligated to our laws, our rules, our regulations, and all of these things, do you expect them to stay completely within the lines? No, like, going over, no little loopholing, no side swiping on the boundaries. Do you expect them to 110% follow full law and order all the way in order to manage and deal with people who have no boundaries whatsoever and are violating the rules and will violate every rule in order to get away, get out, get moved, yada, yada, yada?
Yes.
Every single one.
Every single one.
I don't think any of us can be held to that standard. I don't understand how I could expect police officers to be held to an even greater standard than what we adhere to.
Because they're empowered over us.
They're still people. They're not more capable than us. They have more authority. They're given more authority than us, and over more trust.
What's the line?
Somewhat.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And if they do stuff that's illegal, then they should be prosecuted and put in jail. Absolutely.
Right. So that's what she asked, is if they should be able to break laws in order to come after us. With the exception of like undercovers that need to like do a little drugs or something.
Right. Hold on.
That I get. That I
This is
get.
specifically to people who are diligently breaking the law and have no respect for it. I'm not talking about me and you. I'm assuming most of us are typically law-abiding citizens. We might run a red light. We might speed a little bit, but overall we pay our taxes. We don't do shitty things. We don't hold guns to people's heads, and we're not robbing banks, right? But the cops, in terms of dealing with the people who have no respect for our laws, no boundaries, they'll kill people to stay out of trouble, so on and so forth. Would you wholeheartedly want the cops to obey the law entirely, even if they watch somebody directly do something that was absolutely egregious? Do you want them to completely stay within the laws in order to adhere or get a hold of them or stop them, prevent them from doing more harm to your community?
Us keeping them accountable by what they do to the worst of us is how we protect the innocent from getting their shit when they have nothing to do with them, right?
And to be clear, there are use of force policies. So when the officers do certain things when it comes to use of force, those are all regulated. So no, I don't expect them to break any of those regulations. So those regulations,
right, to go outside the law, they had to do crazy shit. Like Clay is saying, they have all sorts of shit available within the law. You to go outside of what you have available is
like they already put you in chains and put you into a little paddy wagon that's basically a dungeon on wheels. Like when they do that, what they're doing, that's use of force. When they are pointing a firearm at you, telling you to get on the ground, all of these things, that's use of force. I'm expecting them to do these things, right? I'm not expecting them to go outside the bounds of that and just let you roam around after you've committed crimes.
Sarah,
expecting them to pull you over if you've broken the law.
I think it's the little things, Sarah.
Well, right? We get that they're human and that they're going to get pissed off by these fucked up people doing fucked up shit, but we can't let cops just be like, "Hey, well, this guy pissed me off. When I take him into get booked, I'm going to crack his skull across the fucking wall."
Listen, that's the big shit. That's the obvious shit.
This also falls in the other direction too. So what will end up happening is if you have that expectation, then you also have cops who, let's say you're jaywalking, or let's say your kid does something stupid, right? And you're there, and the cop is reasonable, and you're able to say like, he fucked this one up. I will handle it. This will not happen. He's gonna fix whatever needs to be fixed, whatever. And they end up not giving you a ticket or not taking you to jail or whatever because they're being reasonable. Do you expect them to give you that grace in the same direction as they could take it, go the other way by loopholing it a little bit in the other direction to ensure the shitty people get put away?
Yeah, this is a little bit outside the scope of what you're talking about, because in the first one, it was wait. I heard you. Please.
Okay. All right, go
ahead. Thank you. In the first one, you were very specific that it didn't apply to us, the law-abiding people and the smaller people. So now, so we answered with that in mind. Now you're answering, should they follow every law for everybody? I just wanted to say that.
Well,
now I think it's changed.
And that's why I asked it in the order that I asked it. You absolutely positively do not want cops to break the law in order to adhere or put away or get a hold of. I'll come back to that in a minute. Get a hold of any of the shitty people that are actually actively killing people, robbing banks, stealing cars, doing like really fucked up victim type of shit, right? Graping people, so on and so forth. You don't want them to go outside of any boundaries. But then if you are doing something that's you, the citizen, are mildly doing something wrong, do you expect that cop to give some grace or some reasonable conversation and say, look, I'm sorry, I parked in the wrong spot, don't give me the ticket, or I was going 10 over, like it's the first time I've ever been pulled over, blah, blah,
This
blah,
is
blah.
apples and oranges. I feel.
No, it's the spectrum.
It is. I feel it is because cops have discretion on who they can encounter, but they don't have discretion on what they can do once they encounter it. There's actual laws in place, whereas cops all the time watch people speeding only 3 miles over the speed limit, and it's not black and white whether or not they have to go and give that ticket, right? They have discretion on who they encounter in certain instances. But once you've encountered someone, there are hard limits as to what you can do. Like I said, you don't have the discretion to just like take him into the back room and beat him a little bit because we have discretion on that. Like,
but what Sarah's saying is
he has the discretion, even though you, the citizen, are breaking the law. He is giving discretion to not give you a ticket. He's choosing to give you grace, right? But so he's allowing you, the citizen, to break the law actively.
Right.
Correct.
So actually, what Sarah's talking about here is unequal application of the law. And no, he cannot legally do that. So if he is
he can't legally do what?
If he sees someone
show discretion,
he absolutely can show discretion.
You want to
answer? The Supreme Court's been holding that up for.
I wanted to make sure I clarify the question. I don't need to fucking hear whining. I'm so tired of that shit.
I don't understand why it is when I go to talk, you have to fucking start asking questions. That's crazy, bro.
It's part of the conversation. Just go ahead.
Finish your thoughts.
Every fucking panel I get on you with, bro. I love you, Joe.
I'm glad we're all in the I love you.
We should go ahead and fuck then, because if I got to listen to you whine and cry, I should get some ass in head. That's how I feel.
Joe, some ass. All right, Clay, you got to put it.
You're the bottom, brother. Is that cool?
Sarah has bad timing. Unless you aggravate me, I have no intention of arguing and fighting.
Further down than I do. So I can't bend over that far.
You know I'm easily influenced, though. Please keep it up.
Okay. What Sarah's actually talking about is unequal application of the law. Now, they legally cannot do that. If they do that, then they can get sued. Now, I know that there's probably nothing criminal about it. Yeah, sure. They absolutely can have policy violations, and they can absolutely be sued for unequal application of the law. It's the judge's decision as to whether the person's crime fits the bill as to the sentencing guideline, but it's not the cop on the street to decide, if this guy went 3 miles over and that guy went 3 miles and over, well, the one guy had a better attitude, so I won't give him a ticket. That's not a thing. He has to give both guys tickets if he pulls them over.
I would absolutely disagree. Well, yes, but what FG was saying was he has discretion over whether he even encounters them or not. It is illegal. They're breaking the law. Law is 55. They're doing 59. Cop has discretion whether to pull them over or not. And it sucks, but if the guy has a shitty attitude about it, he has discretion whether to write a ticket or not.
He has discretion, but not legally. There's policy violations, and he can be sued. The department can be sued because let's say that they've got a speed trap up, right? And they're pulling every fourth car over, right? So all of those cars that get pulled over, they can all take their tickets together and file a civil lawsuit. Like this is not a thing for officers, for departments to be actually violating our civil rights, right? So we all are equal under the law, and as soon as they start picking and choosing who they're going to criminalize or write violations for, they are 100% breaking the civil code.
What is discretion then, man? Well, maybe we're missing each other totally here. What is discretion? Isn't it them picking and choosing? He looks like a good kid, I'm going to let him go. Isn't that what we know as discretion?
That is what discretion is, and that's why Sarah's asking this question. Would you be okay with, if the guy has a good attitude and the cop decides, he's got a good attitude, so, the cop is well okay, to just let it go. Whereas, the guy with, the shitty attitude towards the cop says, fuck you, cop. I just don't like you. I don't like pigs. I just don't like pigs. Right. And so because he said the word pigs, all of a sudden now the cop writes him a ticket. Isn't that a violation of free speech?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is.
Because
but
he's
one
guy and not
I dig it. But you can do the same thing, that discretion without violation of free speech. It still will have discretion whether the guy, calls him a name or not. He can decide, that this kid, he looks like a good kid. I'm gonna let him go. Is that cop? Wait. If that cop uses his discretion, because I think your argument was it's illegal, he doesn't have discretion. If that cop lets that kid go, is he breaking the law? The cop?
He is if he wrote anybody else a ticket. Anybody else who he wrote a ticket for can sue him in the department. Now,
I think your argument is discretion is not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is. It's called unequal application of the law. If you write one person,
What is discretion then? That is within the law. Can you give an example of discretion within the law?
Yeah, I'll take it actually out to a more harsh crime, right? So if one guy unalives somebody and another guy unalives somebody, but because the cop says, I kind of like the guy's
Can we bring it back to traffic ticket? I can't deal with the murder shit. This is ridiculous.
Because tickets, right? So tickets is easy to go.
Cops don't really have discretion for murder. It's a unrealistic thing, right?
No, discretion is absolutely a thing. This is why
not for murder, though, right?
Oh no, absolutely.
Oh my God.
If they deem it self-defense in the moment, are they going to arrest the person, or are they just going to ask them to come down to the station and talk?
My brother-in-law.
Self-defense ain't murder. Thank you, though.
My brother-in-law did not go to jail that night because it was self-defense.
No, that's not murder, though, right? That's not what you're talking about. He
didn't go to jail, right?
If he was
arrested in Florida, no less.
You said murder. Are you moving it? I didn't even want to do murder. Now you're moving it to self-defense.
Self-defense, because he claimed it was self-defense, which it was. It was 100%.
We're talking about the cop. The cop thinks it's murder. Does he have discretion to charge this guy or not? The answer is no. Parking ticket, letting Bobby go, which is where we were because I think he's a good kid. I think that would be discretion. Is that guy illegal for letting Bobby go? He broke the law. Yeah, he can't let Bobby go.
Well, what makes that one violation so much more, easy to turn the other way for it?
I have no idea what's in that cop head. He's a racist fuck. He just locked up 6 black kids for the same thing. Is it discretion, and does he have it?
Here's the thing. He legally does not have discretion according to unequal application of the law.
Like, can cops issue warnings?
First of all, I have to.
And they have discretion.
And Clay,
some discretion. Legal.
Well, you just blew your entire argument out the water. Then
no.
Here's the real argument. First of all, the cop does not charge you. The district attorney does. What the cop does is he presents his case to the district attorney. The district attorney tells the police officer or the sheriff or whatever to charge them or write the document up with XYZ 1, 2, 3. That's first skewed logic. I digress.
No, that's fair. One of the things that's not getting brought up in this whole conversation is the reason that it's so easy to accept the arbitrary application of laws is because fucking laws are insane. People have no idea. If you get pulled over by a cop, he has a whole book of fucking bullshit you've never even heard of that he can
Good point. There's like 5,000 new laws a year in some places. That's a good point. Who could fucking know them all?
Every single person, every single day breaks at least a dozen laws. If you went outside and interacted in the public, you were breaking fucking laws and you didn't even know it. And so the court system cannot afford, nor the police system cannot afford to, if they were to actually arrest every single person for every single weird law that we have in Deadwood, South Dakota. And I know everybody knows other weird laws like this. It's $15,000 if you get caught spitting on the sidewalk.
Seriously?
Like, yes. Oh,
yeah.
And fucking North Dakota, if you're in the back of a covered wagon and you're approached by Indians on horseback, you can shoot them legally.
In Carmel, California, you can't sell ice
cream.
Hold on.
Like, there's all kinds of fucked up laws on the books, and we don't go through that. And they will arbitrarily, if the cop wants to nail you, he's gonna nail you for something.
Yeah.
I
don't want to add to Boulder's point.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Some states, including the one I live at, I don't know if it's all of them, but definitely some, if not a lot, you can't park on the opposite side of the road. Like, you have to park, on the right side. And not everybody does that. How many people get tickets for parking on the opposite side of the road? Damn near nobody. That's discretion at its finest. Cops don't want to deal with that minute bullshit. Basically what Balder said. We break laws every single fucking day. Like you can't stop in the middle of an intersection. People do that shit all the time in front of cops. They don't stop them. It is discretion. There's discretion every day of the fucking week. If cops didn't hold discretion, everybody would be locked the fuck up. Two boulders.
Exactly. All right. Big announcement here. Number one, Tom Carpenter, because you've already done a $300 match and you already did a $100 match. So my question is, are we starting from zero or are we starting at 400? That's question numero uno. I just need to know how to count it and where to start the count from. Number two, holy fucking shit, every single dono that comes in for the next 2 weeks had better be #Vegas, #Vegas, and holy fuck #Vegas, because this is a big fucking deal. Please don't buddy fuck me on this one and just #Vegas everything, all right? So anyone that's in the chat, anyone's in the chat on a Sleepy Tomato, the Gauntlet, or the Raging Tomato, anytime this week, start from zero. Wow. For real?
Yeah. Good shit, Tom. Good shit.
Really? Holy
Damn,
shit.
Tom.
I might have to have a good cry here.
Yeah, I think she just got moist.
If I disappear for a few minutes, it's okay.
You need to #Vegas every stream from here on.
Everything.
You need to
is
rename these streams after
Vegas.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tom
stream.
One. Tom stream
Now,
two.
bitches.
But for real though, if everyone that is part of my chat community,
Sponsored by Tom.
if you could help in the chats with the kind reminders every show, every 10-15 minutes, especially my mods, because you are highlighted more in the chat. You just remind everyone to #Vegas, because Mr. Tom Carpenter says, I'll tell you what, we're going to make Mater Nation great again. This makes me want to fucking cry. Y'all, my worldwide fam. Y'all, even though you crazy. Yes, I will agree with that. But you're our crazy people, right? You're not their crazy people. You are all our crazy people.
We are, everybody up here is absolutely fucking crazy. Absolutely. How do we survive in society crazy? That fucking crazy.
For sure.
Well, I grew up in Jersey, so I got a valid reason.
Oh God, Jersey. But he says for the next 2 weeks leading up to Sarah's departure on June 21st, I'll match #Vegas up to $1,000. That's crazy. On top of that, he's sending that camera for us to be able to use to get some great footage. It comes with some wireless mics and everything. And this is way beyond just being an awesome mater in Mater Nation, sending some donos to help out. This is beyond and above, and
this is good shit.
True love, guys. So I would 100% love to see in the chat nothing but fucking tomatoes for a very long time.
What is his name? Who's doing this? I can't see on his tiny phone. What's his name?
Carpenter. Tom Carpenter.
Tom Carpenter. Tom, since me and fucking Clay had, to have a relationship, I think this qualifies you and Sarah. You can demand shit now, bro. I suggest anal, bro. I'm just saying. I start there. He's a grand in. He's over grand in. Don't ask for nothing small.
Careful now. Careful where you're going with that, because I don't need any other crazy rumors flying. I had to shut down. Somebody was trying to say a funny, what if such and such this, that, or another. I was like, look, that's not even funny to joke about men and me in this space anymore. It's not even funny, right?
Someone always ruins the fun, man. It's just you live long enough and it's no fun anymore. It's weird.
Well, because I'm a girl in a very male-dominated space, and if one weird rumor flies around because somebody was joking one day about something, it fucks me over royally, and then everybody believes it, and then it's I just can't. So So no, Joe, don't start.
And not to
that
mention the
kind of
Wilsons
shit.
trying to say shit about that photo and all that other crap they're trying to start.
That one too. But anytime I have a guest on and he happens to be a man, somehow
I'll
the
do
rumors
my
is
best.
like, oh, she must like him. She's probably fucking him, and it's always I can't get away from it. It's really annoying.
I don't mean to
know.
add
You
to it,
did say
Sarah. And
happy
I'll do
birthday
my
to me that one day.
I'll do my best not to add to it, Sarah. I just meant to say that there are always times when there were fun and we could crack jokes. Not just you in this room. Everywhere you go, there's a time when it's fun, and then it's sometimes 6 months later it gets so fucking political and eggshelly is not even fucking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be funny moments, but I want to make it clear Tom Carpenter loves watching the show. I believe when we first were introduced to Mr. Tom Carpenter, because we've interviewed him here, he likes watching this show because he has some kind of ringing in his ears, and the only way to cancel it out is to be listening to something else.
Oh, no,
it's
not my
Joe's
laugh. No.
It's only
Yeah,
Joe's
I figured.
laugh.
I knew it. I'm saying so many ringing ear motherfuckers with this time. I got you, Phil.
He's got
So
tinnitus.
we have been a wonderful background noise for Mr. Tom, and he loves the perspectives. He loves the arguing. He loves the crazy. He appreciates the different type of panelists and different type of topics and all sorts of stuff. So that's a true mater where they come in, enjoy the show, and stick around and decide that we're going to make the best of this. So compliments to you, Sir Tom Carpenter, on behalf of Mater Nation from the Darling Queen. We love you so much, and we're so happy you're here and you found us. And we're going to fucking Vegas, bro! Yeah, there we go. Wait, what is this? Is that a flat Earth? Flattoberfest. Sounds like my bra size.
Can I ask Boulder and spin a question real quick, Sarah?
Oh yeah,
Well,
go ahead, Kraut. Carry on.
I want to clarify something because Effigy said something, and then
Yeah, well, you know what? You can go back to fucking Stefan from the Deftones. My name's on the back of this shirt. He's wearing it at concerts. Ha!
I don't know if any of y'all actually know how famous Ben Balderson is outside of his channel. Like,
I don't know who Stefan and the Deftones are.
He hangs out with some pretty high-end people, and he doesn't flaunt it. He doesn't flaunt it.
And you down with the
High
Deftones?
society.
I don't know who they are.
Some new respect for Balderson now.
That
That's
is
one of my favorite bands.
good for us.
But just can I clarify this real quick? So those warnings, that's also built into the regulations. That's not something that like the officer can just choose to, essentially let you go on. Where I'm talking about the discretion, right, is things that are outside of the regulation. Every time you're issued a warning, that is logged into the system as well. So, the notion of warnings being,
Can you give me an example, Clay, of what discretion is in your eyes?
I've got two examples.
No, please. I'd like to hear Clay's
Sure,
because he's
sure.
been saying what it is not. I'd like to hear what it is.
Discretion, as in so discretion to me would be something outside of the law. Him doing something to let somebody go outside of the law, outside of the policy, outside of the regulation.
So you give me an example, right quick, something.
The way that the question was posed from Sarah, I'm assuming that what she means is that, can you let some things slide that are outside of
like do you find some underage drinkers, right? Some 17, 18-year-old kids drinking in a wooded area somewhere, and you hear the music, you find the spot, you go, you walk up, and you're like, all right, you little shits, give me all the alcohol. You take the alcohol, you solve the problem, but you also don't report it.
Is that discretion, Clay?
That actually is not. So hold on. He would actually have to report it if he's giving the warning. But if he does not report it, that means he's not giving a warning.
That's in his discretion whether to give a warning or to actually do an offense, right? That's where discretion is.
What Sarah's asking is no warning, no ticket, no arrest.
Wouldn't a warning be taking their beer from them?
No, you actually have to write it up, and it goes into the system. They actually have to be identified, all that stuff. There's actually it's a detainment nonetheless.
All right. It's it's your classic rural area where a cop knows all of these kids, and he actually grew up with all of their parents, and they all went to high school together, so he can identify by his eyesight who exactly they are. He knows Jimmy John. He knows Susie Q. He changed,
So-and-so's diaper.
Is Clay saying that cops have no ability to simply give a verbal warning and go about their day?
That has to be logged. This is what I'm telling you.
He's saying that's not discretion. This is why I keep asking him, what is an example of discretion? We had 80 of them shot down so far.
To choose whether or not to log it or not. Because once it's logged, then their names go in the ticker. Now, choosing even further to give a warning, citation, so on and so forth, that's another stepping point of discretion. But the minute
I agree with you,
their names, the minute you call it in and say, hey, I've got a bunch of teenagers drinking in the woods, right? That is discretion to even call it in.
Right. So the way that it's posed, the question, I'm understanding it, is that type of discretion to not even report illegal activity, which is actually his job.
Right. That's all discretion.
Right. So to turn the blind eye to even reporting it, to even call it in, to even interact.
It's not turning a blind eye, it's triage. You're letting that one go because you're more concerned about more serious crimes elsewhere.
That's not the bro. No. We're not going to do what they did on Fatty, where you bring in a bunch of other bullshit. Okay, the question is:
cracking up for some reason for that.
Are you okay with them essentially turning the blind eye? Even though they've got nothing else to do, this is literally their job. And just because they happen to know who this is, type of situation, or it's kind of a good kid in your eyes, just a little blind eye, little nepotism never hurt nobody kind of thing.
I have a couple examples. Okay, so the first one was back in high school. I was working at the hospital downtown Minneapolis, and for whatever reason that night, I decided not to change out of my scrubs. I got pulled over for a 100% speeding, 100%. I definitely was going 15 over, okay? And I did get written up for a warning, but the cop said to me, oh, I see your scrubs on. Good day to you, sir. He let me off because I had scrubs on and that I was working at a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he used his discretion to give him a warning.
That's well within regulation, sir.
Yep. And then the other time I definitely was not speeding. And we had a cordial conversation with everything and whatnot. And he did write me up for a ticket. But on the ticket, he wrote me up for an entirely different license plate. Not even my license plate. I'm like, you don't even just screw it up.
Did it get thrown out? Sometime they'll get it thrown out because of
I did. I went in. I'm like, I don't know this vehicle. And it got thrown out immediately. So I believe that he used his discretion and saying, this kid was a good kid.
To get rid of it.
That's what I think he was trying to do that night. Absolutely.
Oh, very good. I like it.
I mean, yeah, if it's me, then sure, I want a little discretion. But if it's anybody else, fuck no.
All right, so I got to pose this question, mainly to Spin and Boulder, because it seemed like all three of us agreed on the mob mentality. I don't want to get my brother-in-law, who's also a cop, in trouble. Well, first of all, I don't think family members should work in the same department. That'll cut out that mob mentality right there in that aspect. But Spin and Boulder, do you believe there should be some type of rotation, like within the county, like every 6 months a police officer goes to another police district so he doesn't get too familiar and buddy with the other cops at the station that he just left? Do you think that could be a solution to that aspect?
I think that actually studies have shown the opposite. There's two interesting things that studies have shown. Number one, and this is part of why they've started importing cops. If you import people, they don't care about the people around or in the area, and they'll do a lot nastier things. If they're the people in your community, being a dirty cop, sure, it's happened, but the community is not going to most of the time is not going to put up with it unless it's a highly corrupt community. Number two, one of the weird things in a study that's been shown, actually paying police to where they're at the lower end of middle class helps. And you would think paying them more would actually help them more, but it's shown that then they end up because most crimes are committed by the poor class, just across the board. Race, religion, creed, none of that shit matters. It's most of it is done by the poor class.
And the more money you give them, the more incentive you give them to
dehumanize that class.
I like the second part. The first part,
the richer people get, the less they adhere to societal norms and morals. There are
Yes.
psychological studies on that.
I'm gonna look that up, Boulder. Spin. Do you have an answer for that? Because again, I'm just asking you two because it seemed like all the three of us agreed on the mob mentality needs to stop. Because
can I comment on his point on Balderson? First part of Balderson's point that the community would not put up with corrupt cops. I don't believe that's true. Community put up with them everywhere all day long.
Well, no,
I wasn't going to bring up the part where I wasn't going to bring up the part where everybody knows where that guy lives. So if he does too much crazy shit.
Let me intervene for just one moment.
Also, just more brutalistic cops. They can't walk around the community. Sorry, Sarah.
I wasn't paying attention, and I let the dono goal slide right next to me and beyond. And you were only 3 out of 10 on the dono goal. So here's what I'll do. Since I wasn't paying attention, that is on me for not paying attention. I'll give you another, let's say, 15 minutes to either complete the dono goal or we'll go into hit it or quit it mode. So
you could give half hour. You're in a good mood now. It's been a great day. You can give them half hour to complete
I already gave
that
free
shit.
content earlier. You stop that right now. It's 10:45 right now. So at the 11 o'clock mark, which will be 15 minutes, you have the opportunity to fulfill the other 7 donos on the never mind.
Now we only need 2.
Now we only need 2.
Oh, wow.
All right. He says hashtag chill out fund. Gotta go. Be back in an hour or so. Okay. So this means all we need is 2 more. Okay.
I forgot the Vegas.
He forgot the fucking Vegas. Damn it.
But
did
no,
it on
purpose.
Hey, Sarah, you want to
I
know
believe
something
he was
funny,
just
Sarah?
replacing it with hashtag chill out fund. He was putting a hashtag on there though.
But it's not hashtag Vegas. See, this is hashtag Vegas.
I think we got to appeal to Tom with this one and see where it stands. But I think the hashtag alone, he was in the spirit of the hashtag.
Maybe, but the fourth Wiseman likes to do like fuck shit on purpose sometimes.
Who's stream is
I
it?
think he's referring to the time period after you get your funds, July 21st. This is for you to chill out after Vegas. So I do think it counts. I do think it counts.
But here's whose stream is it on?
Mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is on Balder's.
Just wanted to point that out.
It's not even on mine, Baldy. Can't count it, Baldy.
My bad.
Hey, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Wiseman.
But I will count it. I will count it towards the dono goal for Balderson because I know Fourth Wiseman is a strong supporter over here, but he came from Balderson's camp, so I will count it towards the goal. So all we need is 2 more donos on my end. You have 13 minutes or so. All right, I will count it.
Hey,
okay, because
Sarah.
Joe, I'm feeling nice. Yeah.
You want to know what's fucking? You want to know what's crazy, Sarah? And I guess next time you have an open panel, you can use this if you want. But I just remembered this cop debate that I brought up wasn't even my original idea. My original idea was voter ID laws. I just remembered that's what I wanted to fucking say. But I forgot about that idea. But yeah, next time you have an open panel, if you want to use that, yeah, that's going to be a real hot fucking topic.
Well, that's going to go straight into immigration. That's what that's going to do.
I'm going to drag that one to racism.
Really. No.
No, we will.
Did I just open it up to voter ID laws, or are we going to stay on the cop subject?
Oh, I like cops more than fucking voter ID, but I'll fucking wrestle.
Yeah, we ain't done with cops. We ain't done with
Yeah,
that.
next open panel.
All right, and James Farley sends 5 over on the Buy Me a Coffee app and says #Vegas. That will officially count as our first 5 towards our 2-week campaign. So I will add that onto a sheet. All right. I mean, quite frankly, I like the cop topic, but I don't know how I feel about photo ID regulations, because I think it's going to lead down the immigration one, and the immigration one is like, I feel like we overhit it this week. Especially on the Palestine one. We definitely tapped into that the other day really hard.
Let me ask something along the cop line then. Should a cop be able to, I don't know, if someone make him chase him, rough him up a bit, bang his head into the car thing, bar the car is getting at? Is that
and
okay?
that's what
Absolutely, I welcome it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that if they can use discretion to your advantage, then why can't they use discretion to their advantage when it comes to really shitty illegal people?
What I was trying to say about that earlier is like, I'm fine with giving them that discretion so long as it's not a case where someone's rights were violated.
Right.
You know, if we're talking like nobody was really hurt by this, but technically this is an infraction or a violation of policy or something like that.
Like jaywalking.
Stacking charges, you mean?
What my original point
and it happened in the commission, like arresting something more serious, right? So
right. Stacking charges.
Things happen in the heat of the moment.
If these laws can be this arbitrary, why exactly are we having them even as laws? If it's obviously nobody's going to be cool with the cop turning a blind eye to murder. Nobody's going to be cool with turning a blind eye to grape. These are things that people should be put in jail for. If it's something that you're like, then why the fuck do we even have these laws? Why are we allowing this arbitrary application to happen?
It's not arbitrary.
I was going to absolutely drag it there, Baldus, and that is exactly what I've been thinking this entire time.
This brings up my next question then. If you could decide to either live in a town with no police at all, you just have rules, but no police, no enforcement of any sort running around. It's just it's the wild, wild west. These are the rules that we're supposed to follow by. If somebody breaks the rules, you handle it yourself, right? Or don't.
That's the Amish country.
Or not really. They still have enforcement.
It's the west side. That's what we have over there.
Or would you rather live in a town that has regular law enforcement going, so on and so forth? So, and I ask this because for anybody that wants reform or all of this other stuff, or people that claim like we should disband the police and yada, 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 then why not just create a city where you have no cops and then now you have no complaints?
Okay,
I don't think that anybody advocated for no police. I think actually everybody.
I was about to say this is a little different from what we were just talking about.
But if we're going to complain about them enforcing the rules and we're going to nitpick and point at every single little thing that they do wrong,
then they shouldn't help us at all.
Well, but then why are they putting themselves at risk to protect you on a daily basis if you're going to sit there and Monday morning armchair every fucking thing that they do when they're just trying to?
Do you not do that with every business transaction?
Yes, because they're human.
The mechanic and the mechanic can fix your car quite right. Would you not critique?
Did you not have a word with your gardener?
That you have every single person that you work with. You not critique the job that they do.
That mechanic is not protecting my life. He's not out there putting
his life neither's
at
a
risk.
cop. You've been to have 8 tickets. These cops never saved you from a fire.
I'd say the barber has my life. The barber has more of my life in his hands than the average cop does. When I go see the barber, yeah, like it's the old Daniel Day-Lewis and the or was that no? But
Sweeney
yeah,
Todd.
There will be blood.
Sweeney Todd.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
Sweeney Todd.
Great movie.
I mean, the thing is
fuck.
the mechanic has your life in his hands. The burger flipper has his life in your hands. And I expect that burger to not be dropped on the floor. I expect him not to be kicking the fry box
Hold
around.
on, but they're not risking getting shot at by some gangbanger or drug dealer or armed robbery of a person, right?
Are
They're
they
not.
not?
They're not putting themselves in. Your average McDonald's
Well,
worker is going to get.
wait.
has a better chance of being shot than a cop. A tow truck
Yeah.
truck driver
A
has
garbage
better
idea
chance.
that
man.
cops are in a dangerous situation at all
Taxi
times is not
driver.
true.
Police violence,
Fisherman.
against police has dropped through the fucking
Isn't it
floor.
like the logger has the highest rate of mortality in any profession?
Well, then I
Cop
guess
probably
we don't
ain't
need
even on the
cops
top
then.
10.
I guess.
Well, we don't
But it
need
sounds like-
loggers either.
I think it sounds like you don't need cops then. If they're
Well,
not like
loggers-
risking their lives for you, you guys can all just arm yourselves, protect
Would you
yourselves,
say
and
we
be just
don't
fine,
need
right?
loggers either? And we do need cops, and we need to be able to criticize them. How come you haven't examined that option?
For this to be
Right?
a fair
It
dichotomy,
doesn't have to be polar. We could have cops, and they could be absolutely the same way my gardener is held accountable. I tell you how I want my shit cut, and how dare you raise your voice at me? How come a cop can't live by those fucking rules because his job is to, and I disagree, save life and risk his life? I live in the ghetto. I'm under much more danger than that cop every day. I'm not impressed by him having 8 hours of work in my neighborhood. I'm not impressed.
You have directly
You East Side
hired that
Joe?
gardener to come in.
What's
you
that?
hand selected
Ain't no
them.
really
You
no
had
East
the
Side in
ability
Chicago.
to hold on. A gardener, you had the ability to vet them, purchase their goods and services, hire them on. You requested a very specific job to get done, and then they did the job, and you're not satisfied with the job. So then you say, "Hey, can you come back and fix this?" They can either come back and fix it, or they can give you a refund, or you can, whatever. But a cop, that's a city employee, county employee, so on and so forth. You have no charge over whether they're hired, fired. You have no idea what their internal affairs looks like. You have no idea.
Right. So you're with us. We need to control and yell at them.
Why? Like what I'm saying is it's two very different worlds, right? That's
yes. Would you make a cop? Yes, go ahead.
Is very different from a government employee.
It's a lot harder to hold a police officer accountable than it is your gardener. You can just fire the gardener, but the police officer, if he shoots somebody, and look, here's a story right out of Kansas. A 2-year-old gets unalived through a window because the sniper thought it was the wrong person. She thought it was her dad who was acting crazy. The little 2-year-old gets unalived. In Kansas, now he's a Missouri state trooper. Should that guy still have a police officer certificate?
Well, he can't be held to those standards. He can't be held to the standards of other people because he risks his life every day. He should be allowed to kill a couple 2-year-olds where we should not be allowed to get away with such things.
Is still key.
No.
That's still deemed as negligent.
I don't have a problem with that.
So tell me, Sarah, was it okay in like Vietnam if the soldiers did a little graping, did a little bit of nasty? They were there serving. They were under much fucking more threat of danger. Guess what? In the military, I know you remember this, all the bad guys have guns, not just like the occasional guy, and they all want to shoot at you. All of them. They have no qualms about it. If they see you, they are shooting at you. And we have to be extraordinarily controlled. Is it okay, the things that went on in Vietnam, all the little laws? I mean, those guys were putting their life on the line, serving the country.
Great logic.
Is it okay? Is it okay that they started doing some illegal shit? I mean, should we give them the free pass?
Well, hold on. They're doing stuff to innocent people that aren't that aren't doing illegal things.
And the cops
Yeah,
do that to innocent people that aren't doing illegal things every day. Every day. You just start checking it out.
Then why do you
Especially
guys
when
have
you put a
cops in
quota
your
on their
towns?
shit.
Just move to a town where if they're so
No.
bad.
I live
You
in that
need
town,
cops.
Sarah.
No,
We don't have a
Maximalist
cop.
argument is not good. It's not a good argument to try and maximize this.
Yeah.
Unless you
Why?
offer a
Well, what is-
dichotomy that on the
okay.
other side you're
If we're
under a
gonna
complete
it's not
fascist
all or
thing,
nothing.
right?
Hold
All
on,
laws
hold
are
on.
immediately done.
I would like
Right.
to
You
say
can't
something.
have those two dynamics. Yeah.
We don't want bad cops. We want good cops. We want cops. We're for
We
rule
want
of
cops.
law.
Yeah, we
Every
just
one
want
of us.
cops.
We want cops, Sarah. This is the philosophy, I think.
If we all had Andy Griffith, if it was Andy Griffith everywhere, none of us would be complaining.
But you were all okay if the cop breaks the rules in your favor to help you
I don't think I ever said it was okay if a cop broke a rule.
I was joking.
It depends on what I did.
I was going to go down Balderson's line.
I've
It's
already
an
said that
arbitrary
implied in the
rule.
job.
If
But hold on,
you-
the cop
he
chooses
should-
not to give you the speeding ticket. The cop chooses to like sway in your direction to help you out on
needs to give a
something.
warning.
Right?
Yes,
But-
it should be
oh
in
my
the
God,
law
Clay.
that he must do that. If it's that he has discretion to let you go over such a thing, it should be in the law that all of the cops must do that. That don't even need to be in the books, man. If it's not that important where he's using his discretion to let you
Well, but
go.
hold
You're
on.
just saying
but
you
hold
don't want
on.
laws enforced.
No, that's
God,
silly.
no.
And
They're
then
just
I
different
was
levels
saying
of laws,
certain
man.
laws.
Come on.
you
Not all
guys-
laws are capital murder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some laws are simply there to provide safe environments, like traffic laws.
And
They're
some
not
are there
there
to
as some
rip you
moral
off.
thing.
Like,
You
okay,
No,
guys
because if you didn't have
have
traffic laws,
all-
people would be fucking running into each other all the time, and our streets would look like fucking India.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was just gonna go there, so I'll give you one: ingress, egress. Right. So you can't stand in front of a doorway and block people's free movement through a business, but you definitely can't do that when it comes to a governmental structure. Okay. So if a cop sees someone doing that, right, he needs to either inform them so that they can get out of the way, that they're actually blocking people's way. And if they choose to continue to block people's way, well, then at that point, a detainment needs to happen, right? I'm all about that, right? I'm all about the rules. But when you say, oh, well, maybe he should just push the guy out of the way, instead of talking to the guy, instead of telling him.
There you go. There you go. I was wondering where you were going. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
what if he sits and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks
Then
and
the
talks
guy
and
is
the guy doesn't
refusing.
move?
Then the guy is refusing and he's breaking the law. And at that
And if
point,
he's
it needs to happen.
And if he's doing all that, he's probably not actually hurting anyone. If you can talk to him for 15 and 20 minutes, he's probably not doing nothing heavy. If it's private property, you remove him. If it's public property, as long as he's not actually keeping motherfuckers out, and you can't talk to him for 20 and 30 minutes, why not? Chop it up. They don't do shit but sit around all day anyway.
Here's another issue.
I don't know.
that-
You guys sound like
run
every
into.
direction is problematic, and it's always the cop's fault.
Well, no.
And I think
Here's
at some
another-
point-
First of all,
at some
it
point-
is.
Another
If we chase the philosophy, hold on, can I chase the philosophy? Every problem is the cop's fault. Every direction, that is the problem. When we start putting them on that pedestal, we give them things, and we
Then
come up with
don't
these
have
thoughts.
cops. Then don't have cops.
Wait. Listen to the philosophy. We come up with these beliefs when we pedestalize them. Then we give them all sorts of leeway, and we come up with these crazy things, and we end up in a society where cop can do crazy stuff and don't get time for it, charge for it. Instead of being held to a higher standard, they have no standards in court and they investigate their crime. We end up with all of those things because we start off saying that the cops get special privileges. Yeah.
No, way, too simplistic.
And I know that you're kind of on your own on this one, Sarah, because you do have the opposing view than most of us. I know there's some who are probably more sided with you, but I do want to present another issue that comes up. Which is the medical problem, right? So when a cop puts his hands on somebody, which is well within regulation, it's use of force, okay?
Use of force.
When he does that, he has to understand that some people need a certain amount of care, and there is no standardized, what I would call, which I've heard the term from before, so I'm kind of stealing it, standard of care. There's no standard of care when it comes to certain types of use of force, right? So once you get to the jail, there's a chain of custody that happens. And throughout the entire process of you being in custody, there's a chain of custody. And in certain instances, like they're supposed to be buckling you up, right? They're supposed to be putting you in a certain place before you go to the back in the jail, things like that. But when it comes to use of force, if a guy is combative, but he's not real, I think of like a diabetic, right? It's been multiple times where diabetics have had issues. They run off the road and they get out of their car and they're having problems, diabetic problems. And the
Right,
cops
I understand.
this. I've seen it multiple times where the cop's freaking out and he's putting the guy on the ground and the guy gets actually caused harm. And at that point, it's because there's either no training, which does happen.
Or standards.
I think it's more the environment that he's believing something is happening that's not happening, right? He's mentally in the mindset of a cop that thinks something is happening that is not happening.
All right, let me do quick logistics here because I let this one go again. It's now after 11 p.m. And nobody sent that extra 20 bucks. You didn't send the extra 20 bucks. James Farley does send another hashtag Vegas one more time over on the Buy Me Coffee app for 5 bones. So I've marked that one down. We're up to 10 so far towards the 1K. But nobody sent that extra. I even gave leeway. I counted this one, even though it wasn't on my side. I gave leeway. You guys had extra time. Holy fuck shit. All right. So you are officially in hit it or quit it mode now. You absolutely 110% have to send one big fat red dono. It does have to be on my side for this one on this round, but hit it or quit it mode. All right. Spin. Why don't you tell them? Because we're only we're under 2 hours in, all right? And we need to figure something out, but we don't want to go home yet. And Joe's ready to take my head off. Tell them, Spin.
Well, guys, if you want me to destroy Chicken Neck up there, the only way to do it is to hit that big red dono. Oh, on the radio.
Low energy.
Low
energy.
Shut up, Chicken Neck.
I know. I drank all this coffee to spice myself back up, and now I'm ready to rock and roll. And now Spin's over here like, hey, guys.
Well, it's depressing because it was $20 freaking.
It was only $20.
I know.
Spin, Canada is better than America. Go.
All right, tell them what they need to do, Spin. Grift.
They need to donate. They need to see Bucky's teeth transform like a transformer.
Wait, who's Bucky?
What the fuck?
Well, the transform like a transformer would have been more of the giveaway on who he's.
Yeah, he needs to transform like a transporter, like a transformer, and fly away. Anyway, if you want us to keep going, the big red dono's the only way you can do it. So donate.
Very nice. All right, Mr. Balderson, tell them.
This is a giant week for Sarah and a giant week for the show, and it's really took a lot of hits this last holiday season, and now it's turned around, and this is such a fucking big deal. And Tom Carpenter is matching all of the donations, and with hashtag Vegas on them. This is going to get Sarah the ability to do this thing. This is they when you go to a lot of these events, they aren't paying you big bucks to go to the event. The exposure that you get from going to the event gets you more people, and that's what's going to help you out. So it's not a get paid situation. So she definitely needs the help on this. Let's get Sarah to Vegas, guys. $100 right now. Big red dono. We'll get Tom putting one hashtag Vegas. We'll get Tom putting one in her Cash App.
Yes, that's the most important part. Hashtag Vegas that shit. Kraut, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Not for long. I got like 30 more minutes. Yeah, like everyone just said, hit the dono goal. This is entertaining. Sarah's making big moves over to Vegas. Everybody you see on the panel now, we also, we hit that dono goal. I typically do it after I leave the stream though. So we're not just telling you to do things we don't do ourselves to support Sarah. We all don't know. Hit it. Or once again, you'll see those Neanderthal eyes in your sleep if you don't hit the dono.
I love it. For the win. You ain't done yet, sir.
I'm not done yet. I was taking a break. My mother actually just called, and then I saw Balderson on there talking, and I'm like, oh man, it's grift time. I told Mom, I'm like, I'm going to have to call you back. I have to grift. And she goes,
Aw.
what? And I'm like, I'll tell you later.
Damn, you're using your mom as an excuse to take a shit?
Hey, that's
Seriously?
solid. That's solid. Or
Quiet,
maybe it was
quiet
it
over
was
there, old
solid.
Ruggin Tub, or whatever your
You
name is.
letting all the secrets out, man.
Keep it up, water boy. Keep it up,
Hey,
water boy.
Hey, look, this is about grifting, and if I have to bring the mothers into it to help Sarah get to Vegas, you guys help us out. What do we need right now? I saw the big 50 come in, are we what?
Oh no, they only had to send in 20, and I was gonna let it slide. I've let a lot of time slide tonight. I've been extra gracious due to just not paying attention and letting things kind of roll anyways because we were having fun. But now they have to hit one big red dono or bust, and this one I'm not letting up.
Water boy.
We need some help here. We definitely need some help. If I have to go further, my dad, he's got some medical problems from the vaccine and everything and stuff. And that's what she was telling me about right now, actually, as well, too. So I apologize that I told my mom I'm going to have to call you later and find out more just for you guys, just for the grift break, just for Sarah right now. So please, guys, help us out. Thank you so much.
Aw, shout out to For the Win. That's very thoughtful. All right, Joe.
It's really important that this happens for Sarah. And I'm so proud of you guys for everything you did. And I'm proud of you, Sarah, for making the moves and whoever helped you along the way. I wish the best for you. Godspeed. Then that was great. And you guys, you kicked in and you did some fabulous things tonight. And especially, I don't remember the guy's name. I said Tom Berenger or something. I don't know. You did really
Tom Carpenter.
good. Tom Carpenter. Very good. And the rest of you, very good. You were $20 short. And I say, I don't think Mom should be up here lecturing you over $20. I'm so proud that you didn't give it to her. Remember, we got to get her to Vegas. So I want her to get this bread, but on this extension, wait to the last fucking minute before you give every fucker down.
All right, Kay, tell him what to do.
Listen. You know who you are. I'm looking right at you. You send that dono. We know who you are. And we want it to happen. And I know that
this is a new approach. He gonna hurt me. I'm scared.
So send that dono. Because if you don't,
he'll transform you.
If you don't, you ain't gonna like what happens. You understand? I know you know who I'm talking to. I know you know.
I feel like you're talking to me, man.
I'm talking to you, man. I'm talking to you. And I'm telling you, that big red dono, make it happen. All right?
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
And tell them.
First, big shout out to Carpenter Tom. That's such a generous offer to make. And this is a great time for donating now because honestly, it's counting more and it's going to something foundational. It's going to really help this channel out, I believe. I see great things coming out of this. So, great time to invest in the channel if you're a supporter. And I appreciate everybody who has been supportive. Thank you.
Aw,
Also,
Ant went real on that one.
Also, if you don't, I'm going to sneak into Kay's room and replace all of his Transformers with GoBots.
I was just going to say, did you notice he didn't threaten anyone? But you had to put that at the end.
He threw it in there. He threw it in there. All right, Clay, they've got less than 5 minutes.
Mater Nation. #Vegas. Throw it in the chat. $100 dono, red dono. Throw it in the chat with the #Vegas so Tom Carpenter can match it. You know you can do it. I know you can do it. I mean, what are we doing here? Why are we even waiting? This is a non sequitur. Let's move it along. I'm gonna debate you, bro. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You can do it.
#Vegas. #Vegas, motherfuckers. And effigy, darling, always with the classics. Go ahead.
You know, I clocked you at only 8 out of 10 donos.
Oh my God, he's got
But
the police
seeing as
uniform.
this is only your first offense, I think I can let you off with use my discretion to let you off with a little warning of just one more big red dono. You think that all right with you? Because if we don't do that, we're gonna have to take this downtown.
Downtown. I'd go downtown with you.
Well, we can go downtown anyway. Show you my station.
Oh,
Sarah gonna say you're gonna use her cups though. That's what Sarah.
Oh, they're
I'm
pink and
supposed to not
fuzzy.
crack them jokes. Yeah. See how quick I slipped.
That's hilarious. I love it. All right, folks, you have 3.5 minutes, and Fourth Wiseman already told us over on Ben's side. He said, "Gotta go. Be back in an hour or so." He might not make it back, and I know he's usually your savior and hero over here, but he can't be tonight because he won't be here to see it, and neither will we. So somebody else has to be the hero, and Tom's already matching. So somebody else has to take one for the team and save all of these amazing people.
Did
All
you
right.
ever know that you're my
Sarah, I'm gonna call it.
Because you are the wind beneath my wings.
I'm about to hit it, Sarah.
Oh, whoa.
Nah. I mean, like the bed. I'm about to hit it.
I mean, it wasn't exactly asking for consent, but it was definitely a warning.
Right?
Hey, look. Couple
All right,
things
Kraut,
before I go.
tell us.
Yeah, I am gonna. I am gonna, wake my wife up with something special without her, verbal consent. But all that aside, yeah, man, I'm always happy to
Hashtag
topic.
Vegas,
It's
man.
very entertaining, although I was expecting more divisiveness. Is that the word? Like pushback
We'll
from
do better next
different
time.
people.
Oh.
I tried to throw some in there.
Also,
I tried to throw some crazy
yeah, a
shit in
little,
there for you.
Well,
I
it
don't
shows
know
you
if
the
I can
state that
guess-
we've gotten
I
to
don't
in
know
this
if I can
country when
guess
we
where
all
the
agree
freedom
on
song
stuff
is.
out of control.
I know, right?
I mean, everybody's about rule of law. What
what was that?
I said everybody's about rule of law. What can we do?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look.
Thanks for coming in
No
with a
matter
good topic.
no matter where you look at, no system is perfect. There's motherfuckers at BK that can't flip a burger right. There's politicians that are corrupt. There's cops that need to do their fucking job.
Whoa, I should have got here earlier. We totally disagree. I would have been your opposition the entire night. We totally disagree. I'm sorry I missed you. I don't believe in that one bad apple. Most cops are good bullshit, which is what you're saying on your way out the door. I wish I'd have caught you. That all cops, well, we'll go. I don't want to get too extreme, but 99.9% of them are worthless, immoral, or at least their morals, that whatever they have that you know them as, they don't apply from 9 to 5. So they're worthless when it comes to morals. All of them, 99% of them. And I have endless evidence of it. But I think you got to go.
I don't know. I seem to feel like I think that policing as a job is just as likely to entice someone who wants to protect people for a living as it is to entice people who want to bully people for a living.
I like the point. I like that point. No one's ever said that to me, but I like it.
Yeah. Got to weed out the bullies.
You say you got, hold on. Let me get dude. He say he got 5 minutes. Let me go.
Right. That's why Boulder
got,
gave it like a 50-50 with a little, what you call it, Boulder? A little taint on the good side.
Yes. Balderson was being kind. Yeah. But he did allude. Yeah. He did allude to what's really under there. Oh, can you hear me? Dag nabbit. He's got one of those phones where you can't hear me, bro.
Kraut, can you hear us?
This one when you drop people back and forth, he loses sound. Can you ask? Can he hear you? Because I'm telling you, hear certain people and can't hear others.
Kraut.
No, I can't hear you. Grrr.
This is so obnoxious. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, download the StreamYard app. Just download the StreamYard app, and you should be able to avoid all of these issues and sound issues and yada yada yada. Or just get a fucking iPad or laptop or something where it's not relying on Timu StreamYard from.
Oh shit, Sarah, you're up here. You can hear me. Perhaps you should
Yeah, I
fight
can hear
this
you.
in dude's absence. This is perfect. Sarah, all of these cops that are good, the one bad apple theory, or I think is ridiculous, because if there's one bad apple, then when that one bad apple does something wrong, there'd be 20 cops, writing reports and telling them. It's not a thing. In fact, it's quite the opposite. If a cop does something like fines $500,000 and doesn't chop it up with his friends and turns it in, he's a pariah. He's kicked out. Yeah, cops. I'm not sure why you still think they're the good guy. They're all fucking bad because they don't turn in their friends when they do bad shit. They fucking if someone tells them to hurt you, they'll do it just by opening their mouth. They don't even consider whether, all
right. I pulled up just a quick Google search, so it's not like I'm reading like a full-fledged study. It says studies on police misconduct indicate that around 8% of officers are found to have committed some form of misconduct, with about 3 to 5% warranting major punishment. Okay.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything that I just said, though. I am saying that the guy who
8% of the entire police force nationwide, only 8% are found to have committed some form of misconduct, with about only 3 to 5% of that warrants major punishment. That's not
a I don't think that's a commentary on what I said, but let's assume it is. And we're just dealing with those 8%. My statement is there are 20 other officers watching him do that shit, and they can't seem to catch him. They won't write on their report, and they won't turn them in. Don't every cop who watches a cop do something and don't report them, aren't they now bad cops?
How can you prove how can you prove something that you can't prove exists?
I'm not sure, but maybe I can put it in a hypothetical.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We saw the cop.
You're going based off of, I'm assuming, vibes or maybe some kind of anecdotal.
No, yeah. Let's put it more out. Let's say the cop shook some guy up and slams his head in. Because I'm considering this light. Slams his head into the car door as he's pushing him in. That's what happened. And let's assume it's after a chase. Are any of those 20 cops going to report it? The answer is no. Let's assume it's not after a chase. Are any of those cops going to report him? No.
What? No. What I'm saying, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You have to have.
No. I'm not trying to address.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
You have to have proof of misconduct and lack of turning in. So now you have to prove that the misconduct exists. Then you have to prove that the other cops actually witnessed and saw it. Then you have to prove that they didn't report it to their superiors or internal affairs. But if you don't have that proof, which the only numbers I have right now are 8% of officers.
No. We can't use those for this hypothetical. Let's go with what we got so far.
Vibes go, Joe.
I'm not going to go off of vibes either. Relax. I'm not about to go off of vibes. Stop being a psychic.
You are going off of
Let's
vibes.
go off of those.
You're telling me right now.
Okay. I know. You don't know. You're not a psychic.
8% of actual studies found that 8% of there's 8% of police misconduct. Okay. And even of that, only 3 to 5% warrant major punishment. So that 8% could be like a minor infraction, or like you didn't turn your body camera on fast enough, or something like that.
I'm willing to stay with that 8%.
Right.
Of that
8% that's still less than 10%. That is a bad apple scenario. I need you to
assuming. Wait. I'm going to give you one. But assuming you would go with that, which I could rip that apart easily, it would just distract me from the thing that I'm trying to prove right now. Even if we take their 8% number, and those cops that did these bad things, how do you think they were caught? Were they turned in by their fellow officers are caught by the officers doing the bad thing. Of those 8%, we're going to stay with that. Is that how they were
I
caught?
don't know. I'd have to look at the
You don't
study that it
really have
pulls
to.
up.
I don't know if they
Hold
have
on.
a stat for that.
Police misconduct. What is documented? Data collected by Invisible Institute Civilian Police Data Project. This is 1988 to 2018. Data collected by New York City City Civil Liberties Union.
You could just go off of what we know,
2000.
Sarah.
Hold on. 2000,
Hey,
2001.
you're a cop's wife.
Joe, can
I think I heard, dude. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now, guy. Yeah.
But the percentage, at least
So,
one substantiated. These are coming from complaints. Now, the complaint, I don't know if these are
They're not police
from the
complaints.
public.
You know, the police don't. You're a cop's wife. Why are you steady reading and Googling stuff? Is it a thing where
Because I don't
police?
live off of
Excuse me.
anecdotes or-
Excuse me. I don't need your emotions. We're not dating. You don't yell over me when I start talking.
You are giving emotions. You are giving. Well, I'm vibing.
Why are you yelling over me?
Anecdotal experience. Anecdotal.
You don't know,
experience is
cause
not
before I can
proof.
say what I want to say, you jump and yell. You don't know what I'm fixing to say.
Joe, my one husband, in my experience from completely outside of the force, right? I only know what he tells me, which really isn't that much. Okay.
Great.
So for my experience from him is not provable facts. It's not hard.
Oh, that was not my assertion. You're arguing your own shit.
You
see,
just
by you
said-
cutting me
well,
off, you're arguing your own
just
shit. I got
said-
one word out and you cut me off.
You just said, well, you were married to one, you should know.
Well,
What
I
did
should
he
know
tell
what.
you?
Isn't it
That's
important
what
what
you
I was
just
going to
said.
say after
Oh my
that,
God.
Sarah? Shouldn't
my
isn't
God,
what
Joe.
you should know important, Sarah? Why you
Joe.
trying to justify cutting me off as if there could be possibly be an excuse for that? Please give me an ear. If you're talking over me, I know you're not hearing my argument.
Says the
You're just
person who cuts
prepared
off
to yell.
Everyone, go ahead, Joe.
Yes. If Sarah, just by what we know in society, I'm assuming that you being a cop's wife would even benefit. What do we know about how often cops turn in other cops? Is it a thing? That was my whole question. Is it
Joe,
rampant cops
again,
turning other cops?
Me, as the wife of a police officer, I know nothing of what happens internally unless my husband directly tells me something.
I'll
and most
take
of
you
y'all
at
should
that
know,
head.
Most of y'all should know most men aren't going to come home crying to their wives that this happened or that happened. Okay. Again, that's why I said we're not going off of anecdotal experience. We're going off of
We're
the
not.
data that we can pull.
That's just you saying my husband has never
God.
told me another
'Cause
cop has turned somewhere. Sarah, it is not
That's
your
not what I
freaking.
said. That's not what I said at all.
I would like to say
You're
something,
saying, Joe, you are saying we should understand how cops don't tell on each other and blah, blah. We should know as a society that they don't. But do you? How do you prove a negative, Joe? You don't.
Okay,
what
great.
you do need is
Great.
positive, affirmative information.
Right.
Being misconduct happened. We have proof that the cop witnessed it. And then we have proof that the cop failed to report it. Give me that information and then you have a case. But until you give me that, you're going off of vibes and feelings.
Okay. I'm not so sure that I need that particular evidence, perhaps to satisfy you, but to satisfy me. I am totally, excuse me.
Yes, you do.
Excuse me.
Yes, you do.
I am totally satisfied with having you up here doing all these dances and acting all exasperated and shit because you can't answer the question, do cops turn each other in? I'd more rather you Google some shit and act like it's not at the tip of your tongue. I prefer it like this, so don't tell me I need evidence. This is better.
Yes, you do.
Go
Joe.
ahead, pimp.
Yes, you do. What you are doing right now, Joe, is painting a narrative, and you're trying to say that we as society should accept this narrative because
I'm saying society already knows. Ain't no except. Everyone knows cops don't turn each
How do we
other
know?
in.
Where's the data?
Where's the data? Google it. You Google
I just
it.
did, and I gave you 8%. And
Well,
you're
here,
even
what is
saying
this?
That that's
Hey,
not
Siri.
working.
Do police turn in other police?
Here's what I found.
That didn't help. It varies significant by department due to the pervasive code of silence. You ever heard of that code of silence, blue line, Sarah? Even Google knows about it. When officers do report their peers, it typically occurs through specialized IA so-and-so. meaning the average cop doesn't do it, doesn't do the shit. We all heard the blue line wall of silence. That's what's next. Historically and culturally, law enforcement agents face challenges with a code of silences, sometimes called a thin blue line, the unspoken rule that discourages officers from reporting misconduct on colleagues. Did I make that up? That's my
feelings?
A
very old school. That's a very old school concept.
God is good. He loves me.
And not only that, again, you don't have the data
to
prove it exists. That is still not a solid answer. Number one, again, you can't prove you have to be able to prove the misconduct happened. You have to be able to prove the cop witnessed it, and you have to be able to prove that they failed to report. Now, if all of those things are proven, then they actually can get in trouble for failure to report or failure to handle it or whatever the case may be. There are consequences. But you're saying a thin blue line, guess what? That comes from all the fun movies and videos and TV shows.
This is great. I was going to leave it alone, but you brought it back.
Like The Wire and shit like that. But how often does that actually happen? You cannot prove a negative.
Well, let's see. I'll give it a shot. It can't prove it. You're talking. You go. Well, I'll just say you're talking to the right guy because I've been trying to prove it for 7 years. I'll give you enormous evidence after that guy right there goes.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I just got two things. One's really quick. Sarah mentioned men don't typically come home and complain about their job. That's right. Even more so if they're a police officer in the military or a correctional officer. Those motherfuckers don't want to bring their job home. That is statistically proven. It can fuck their minds up. So Sarah really has no inkling other than what she can pull up. She honestly can't rely on her husband because he doesn't want to bring that shit home.
I was not asking her to rely on her husband. That I told her I'd give her that.
You actually did, but I don't want to harp on that. This is what I actually.
You should not.
Sarah pulled up the statistics about 8%. I'm a generous guy. I'll just make it 10%. And like 3 or 4% are cops do shit that they should actually be punished for. Who's to say that other 6% doesn't fall in line with cops not narking out their buddy? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And Sarah's very fortunate. She's going to get some company out there on that limb that she's on. I'm going to ask you the same question. Does the thin blue line exist today?
The thin blue line is just the backing of the police, which I absolutely back.
The code of silence. Does the code of silence, where you don't tell on your fellow officer, does that exist today?
Well, if it does, I'm not aware of it. But Sarah made a good point also with that way back in the day. But you're missing the point, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not. That was the point, man. I get up in the fucking morning to hit niggas getting that cognitive dissonance. That is exactly the point, man. They're arguing with you back and forth about it. I know you know that the wall of silence exists. It's just fun hearing motherfuckers twist themselves.
Joe's over there watching The Wire, jerking off to the blue line.
Hey, Sarah, The Wire was the closest I've ever seen to my real life. The Wire, that was the closest thing I've ever seen to it.
Yeah.
You thought that was fiction?
How it was actually Baltimore based, which fun fact, my ex-husband actually did the ride-alongs for the actors in that show before they started all of the filming and stuff. So
I've been in the neighborhood where they filmed. Yeah, I'm familiar with the neighborhood and all of that shit.
Look,
that was the closest it come to real life with us standing out there saying that the cops, I've been robbed by the cops so many times, they take you in the bathroom. I got endless of that shit. That shit is real.
Yeah, Joe.
Go ahead, pimp. No one's ever told. Hold on. Can I tell a story? Listen, this is a while ago. I'll give you that, Sarah. But I got arrested one time with 13 bags of weed. And the cops picked up a whole paddy wagon full of motherfuckers. And since they didn't have no real charges on them, they gave them all a bag of my weed and charged them with that, bro. And listen, the way they did it, Sarah, which is why I brought the story up, they just yelled it across the open room. What you get charged with? I need 2 of your bags. Everybody in earshot could hear that they were putting my drugs on these people. It was no secret.
Oh yeah. There's a big moral failing.
Oh, so this is bullshit because he didn't. None of them motherfuckers paid Joe for the drugs.
No, they shit.
And have the
They was
decency
like,
to pay
man, I
for it.
got your weed charge. They gave me shit. We got the back. They was fucking with me, but they was giving me shit.
There's
now I got a
feeling
weed
that you can
charge
find in,
to
especially
you.
in like authority figures, but it's a grand moral failing in almost every moral system. It's when our human side takes over from our deontology, and it's the idea that moral people, once they classify you as immoral, will be completely fine with doing any kind of
Doing
immorality
anything
to you.
to you. We agree. I
Yeah,
love
it is,
you. We agree.
and it's not moral. So I've talked at length about this so many times. I think it's like one of the grand moral failures of most moral systems, including religions right now, is that they always leave room for you to be immoral to people you think are immoral.
Yes.
So Joe, there is
try
a
to keep
stat.
that at the forefront.
There is a stat for you. I put a couple of
Okay.
links in the back. It's 46%. 46% of cops admit, this is just the ones that admit, that they would not report. So
well,
there
that's
is a stat.
shocking. I would assume 100% would say no one would
But
admit.
it's
I
still
assume
high.
46% is
How many cops are
astoundingly
there
high.
in the U.S.? I think it's like 2 million or something like that. It's at least
Yeah,
a
that's
million.
it.
It's like between 1 and 2 million at any time. But essentially, if that's 46%, think about how many cops that is.
Willing to admit. Think of how many would not say that shit.
That was
this
the
idea of the brotherhood is this toxic idea that ends up basically just making them form a protective ring around each other sometimes. I get
That's
the
what I was
good
saying.
use cases for it, and sure, you can say all the same things about guys in the military and stuff, and how they get this mentality of this core group of we're going to have each other's backs. But
Right.
when it comes to the point where you're like a moral arbiter in society, and you're like, the brotherhood means that we are above the moral system,
Scary.
like that cannot be allowed to stand, and it stood for the entire existence of policing, I think.
And I have examples too, by the way. So essentially, like every single Friday and Saturday night, okay, you can go downtown Albuquerque and watch the cops out on the street as the bar lets out, Library Bar and Grill. This is like every single Friday and Saturday night. It's every Friday and Saturday night, okay? They let the bar out, and the cops essentially force the people to walk down to their vehicles, okay, and force them to get into their vehicles and leave the area after they leave the bar.
Yeah, I would love to go there, pal.
Example, okay? So is it? And here's the thing: they rotate those cops.
That's
too.
crazy,
That's
yo.
just like, oh, it's those one, that one unit. No, they actually rotate those cops, so everybody has to do like duty for that, and then sometimes guys will sign up for like overtime for duty for doing that. But this is a regular occurrence, okay? This whole department knows about it. It's a continued thing. You can literally go down if you want to film some cops doing some bad shit. You can literally just go down to Albuquerque downtown every Friday and Saturday night. You get that footage, no problem. I get it all the time. But here's the thing: if that's the case, then it's the whole entire department. This isn't just like a one-off. It's not just a couple of bad apples in this department. They all are doing this. They all are watching each other doing this. They drive the cars up on the sidewalk into the people. Literally, this is what they're doing. They're riding the horses down the sidewalk like they're not supposed to do. This is a regular occurrence every Friday.
Hey, Clay, how I got popular.
That, right?
You know this, Clay. This is how I got popular. Was they used to do that in my neighborhood, drive the cars up and down the sidewalk, park on the sidewalk, and just be bullies. I spent the first year and a half just doing videos about them clowns on the corner being gods. And that's how everybody got to know me in the beginning.
And what do you think it's going to turn into as soon as normal police enforcement gets a hold of these Palantir apps that ICE has been walking around with? When they can walk around to houses and their apps give them a percentage of criminality and shit like that, and like pre-crime judge you and shit.
They're already working on it. I'm looking at
then.
Cases of it. Yeah, the pre-crime shit. I'm catching videos of them knocking on youth doors, and the people don't know what they're saying. I know what it is, but they're selling it like it's a good thing. Oh, we're just interested in at-risk use. Is all from the pre-crime program that they came with. Some of them buy it, some of them don't, but they're instituting that shit.
And again, it's not to bash cops, it's to bash bad cops. And there's a lot of bad cops. Like, I see every single cop out there doing this and letting it happen. At that point, it's like, it's every single cop.
I'd like to redefine it. Yes, what a bad cop, and I don't believe in good and bad, and not even people, not even in cops. It's not a thing. It's sliding scales, but in the sense that we're calling something bad and bad cops. If we're going to define this thing, more would have to fall under that bad. Simply on the fact that that the things like Clay is saying, they're able to do something that large scale, and it's acting like no one's seeing it.
Or on the idea that the good ones are basically not allowed to tell on the bad ones, so they become complicit.
Yeah,
yes, that's horrible. Very good. It's probably people sulking in like anger over this shit.
If the cops, well, let me point this out real quick. If the cops do something that they're not supposed to do to like a normie, that's one thing. If they do something that they're not supposed to do to the press, that's a whole nother thing, because they're not just doing it to like the normies. They're doing it blatantly out in the open. Because here's the thing, the press, we're
violating the First Amendment now.
Like, they do that shit right to the camera. That's crazy. Blatantly violating people's rights. Not all of them all the time, but they are doing it right in front of the camera. They don't have a problem with it. It's a culture.
Yes, great. I got some dope shit coming out, since that happened, man. I've been hitting the streets crazy. I got some coming out where the cops is just shining that light in my face, talking about there is no right to film and the white shirt sanctioning that shit. I got some good shit gonna be coming out.
Well, and think about how everything we just talked about creates a cycle.
And one second, guys. 1 second, I'll give it right back to you, Effigy. Calvin comes in with, "Come on, Sarah. You can't be candid when it comes to the ills of policing the black community, and then silent when it comes to the blue wall of silence. It exists." Sarah was trying to get a provocative conversation going. She wasn't necessarily holding that position, but she did say can't prove a negative. Good night, boys. Bubble Bath is calling my name. We have failed.
So what I was saying is that it creates a cycle, right? So you've got your bad cops, and then you have some of your good cops who see the bad cops doing bad. They're not allowed to turn them in, and then they see those bad cops benefiting from the bad things they do. So over time, it just becomes, well, I'll benefit
toxic
if I do
to
the
them
bad things too, and it creates a cycle of perpetuating more and more bad cops.
Yeah, it leaves no room for the good guy. None. He can't breathe in that system.
Well, and it's not even like in just cops, right? This is a mentality that exists in every single profession out there. Like, to pretend like all of a sudden the cops are special in that is just
every job would be a bad
people in their profession.
Yeah.
Like the guy.
That's the problem, right? They got guns and authority. That's the only difference between them and my crazy lawyer.
When I worked in
if the local baker was selling bread that was killing people, I'd be.
You're right. If my narcissistic baker who was selling bread killing people, that's the problem with.
I've quit multiple kitchens for the nasty shit that goes on in there, right?
Very good.
Because that's the people that will do the job in those nasty kitchens don't care. They breathe that culture. It's like, yeah, fuck it, dropped it on the floor. Who the fuck cares? So it's a bread culture, And look. If you find out that your local favorite McDonald's is, shitting and then not washing their hands, you're going to have a problem.
Selling you human meat as burgers.
And
that's more analogous.
Employee walk out without washing their hands or back there making your shit without gloves on. I see no problem with complaining about that. That's like, if you're not going to complain, then you're probably just as nasty yourself. Like, for real.
At least make a video and put it on the internet, which seems to get shit done a whole lot easier than complaining to a company.
And the thing is, like how the conversation too, with the like I pointed out the cameras, right? The body cams, that sort of thing. That's a great thing, right? Now we have these body cams. I like what Ben was saying, that should be on all the time. Like,
yes,
redactions can happen afterward. You don't have to work. Like, I'm almost to the point where I want that shit live stream, but I do understand.
Yeah, but I'm with you. It's a bit much, but yes, I'm with you, man. Certainly, in some places that instituted, you cannot cut them cameras off.
You make the exceptions
Yeah,
that you need to make it safe. But if
Yeah.
at this point, like if we can't trust these people, like fucking live stream their lives as soon as they're at work.
Yeah, if you're not in the bathroom, I'm gonna want to see that
I'm all
footage.
for more cameras. Cameras have done more to exonerate the police than any other thing. So go ahead.
But they hide them. If you know,
say it with me. Thank you, Black Lives Matter.
we done it. Yeah. Me and
yeah.
Claire on the receiving side trying to get those cameras, though, man. It is so difficult. Some states it is even more difficult.
I agree with you, Ant, that they actually exonerate the cops in a lot of cases. However, I will point out that those reports that were never investigated because there was no camera. You can't investigate if there's no camera. When somebody complains and says, hey, this cop did something bad, all it is the criminal's word against the cop's word. The only reason that it gets investigated is because there is a camera. There's no other reason.
We're in agreement. The cameras are a good thing. I'm not arguing against them. I don't know why you're going down this line.
No, you're no. Don't get all upset.
He should take it even a little.
Where you're going with
He,
this?
he should take it even further. I think he should have taken it a step further. That even in front of the camera, though, even if you do have a camera on you, it's not going to stop the cops' behavior, and they're not going to. No one is going to say that you did wrong. We found it on this tape. The only way those ones that you're talking about, where cops are found guilty or exonerated of, is because they put those forward. Only because they exonerate the cop. All the ones that make them look bad, you got to fucking go through hell and have whoever them to get an act of Congress to get that shit.
Joe.
I disagree.
Well, yes, I'll do it. Every fucking here's no. I'm not just making claims. Here's something. Almost. Let me finish if you really want to know. Most of the shit that you see, some news agency or something had to sue to get the footage of all the major shit that you see. It was heading for a year or years, and they wouldn't do it through FOIA requests like I do. Some news agency who had money had to sue them or threaten to sue them to get the footage. It's the thing.
And everyone who's been keeping up with the bricks and minifigs thing that's going on right now knows exactly that the cops will just edit their fucking body cameras.
Yeah, that shit's wild. I do disagree with you though, Joe. Because
that's why I'm saying they should be on the whole time that they're on duty. We everything's recorded. The bullshit where they can fucking edit it. The bullshit where they can turn it on and off.
Like if
None
they
of it when they go to the bathroom.
interrogate a child, they can't record that.
No, they can. It just has to be redacted. This whole idea that you can't redact the body cam is it's not a thing. You can. And
and they abuse that too, though, right?
Here's the skew. Hold on, I've been quiet. Here's the skewed. Here's the skewed logic with that. The individual police officer cannot edit their body cam.
Correct.
It goes to Axon. Axon stores it.
Yep.
And only the administrator, which is probably the police chief or assistant police chief, has access to edit or download or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, that footage.
Correct.
So if an individual needed something edited, the chief of police or the assistant chief or the administrator of that body cam would have to be corrupt in their own mind to edit something out.
I think you're saying you're saying even further than us, that the corruption is from the top down. All these edits and blurs we're talking about for no reason is from the top.
So every hour,
absolutely.
Just to add on to that, every hour takes, or at least in my city, is 4 hours to edit body cam footage. So there is a cost behind it as well, of course, obviously, but
which it should not be. I shouldn't say obviously. Now, which we pay them for.
I think they're stretching when they say the 4 hours. I think they're stretching that a little bit. But if it is 4 hours, right, then that's no problem. I don't mind that. I'll pay for it. But here's the thing, too. What I was pointing out, I actually don't agree with you that they would act the same way on camera. There's this little thing called the Hawthorne, where people who are being watched actually act a little differently, where typically it's the proper way, right, or whatever. because of the fact that they're being watched. So I don't actually agree with you that they would not act or that they would act different, act the same.
Act the same. Okay, they act shitty on camera. That'll do for me. Even on camera, they'll act shitty. It may not be their normal shitty. Without the camera, they may be super horrible. But that camera doesn't stop these motherfuckers from doing shitty shit. Most of them.
That is true. That is true. But they do act a little better with the camera.
I agree. I brought the camera here in Chicago, and I can tell you how horrible each and every one of them was before and in the early vids. They were horrible, almost all of them. Now the majority are kind and and want to talk. It's just a world of difference. The majority are kind now.
Shining the light shit, that fucking prior restraint shit.
Yeah,
that shit's for the birds. That shit.
Motherfucker told me the other night, the white shirt, that you have no right to film here. Yes,
you got it on camera.
I got it on camera. I'm gonna cut the video after I finish the one that I'm making now. Oh, this is a great one too. The one I'm making now, some Asian cat pushed me. A bunch of cops pushed me back, and then this Asian cat though, and I was at a pretty nice distance. He come in late and decided he's gonna push me, and I said I'm not gonna allow it. And he grabbed me and threatened to arrest me and all of that bullshit. And I'm already making a vid about that. Then I see him. I think it was last night before. And he's like, "Hey, I remember you." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you the one that was threatening me the other night." He's like, "No, I asked you to back up." I said, "No, nigga, you threatened to arrest me." I'll put the video out, and his boys tried to come to his rescue. Listen, just stay back, blow me. I ain't going no fucking well. I got that tape too, and I'm gonna add it to that shit. So I got a bunch of good shit.
You know what's really great, even worse than the cops. And look, I'm not saying that the cops are bad. I'm saying that those actions that the cops take are bad. But what's crazier than that is when it's civilians, regular normies, coming in to essentially try to act like cops, try to, stop movement, maybe even put their hands on you, tell you that you can't film in this public area.
Are you talking about security or bootlickers? You're talking about security now, Dan. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes. We are normal people. Yes, feel like that's their building.
Bro, it's crazy, right?
Why are you in my building?
Then the cops come and defend the actions of those fucking maintenance workers. This shit's crazy.
Yes, because they're of the same team.
Bro, it's wild. And then regular normies.
Clay, I have to interrupt you.
2020.
I have to interrupt everybody. We're having a problem in the back with the StreamYard. I dropped another StreamYard link. We are going to go over to that StreamYard link, and we're going to continue this conversation. I'm going to drop it into the chat. That way everybody can come up. Everybody that is on the panel now is welcome on the StreamYard link. Maybe Chicken Neck, I might kick him out once or twice. But we are moving over there right now. The intro is playing.
Opposition.
So we are going to end over here, Ben, in 5 seconds. Hit the end on this one, and we're moving over there now. The StreamYard link is in the chat and the back chat for everybody to come over there now.